I gotta turn everybody's sound on. But hi, hello chat. Hello, hey Troneup. You guys want to say hi?
Hello.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's like a little weird understanding. Like, it took me a while when I first started streaming just to kind of like get used to the whole being live. so not
Yeah,
that
I was tempted to do like the Minecraft thing, but I practiced
restraint.
that word, yeah.
Yeah, please do not do that. Like even just casually around me. Like just don't do that.
Never do that in my presence ever.
But yes, today guys, gonna be episode 2 of our nice little session, and who wants to do a quick recap of last week? Like just
Gosh. From what I remember, we found a Pokemon. We caught some Pokemon. And after we caught the first few Pokemon, only 2 of them out of the 5 we first found, we like set up camp on the way to the next town because we're slow, and got ganked by a bunch of Pokemon trying to steal our food. I caught most of them. Just kind of blanked out and threw Pokeballs. And then Harry got his first Pokemon. Or first capture, anyway. And, I think that's where we left up. I think we may have, like, just reached the city.
Yeah, we're on our way to see Mr. Pokemon. Yeah. To show him our captures, I think.
Yep.
I think that was the objective, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much what you all said. You basically started off in Cherry Grove. I believe you got there in the morning and had to go and heal up all of you guys' Pokemon. Riddy or Max decided to go have a nice morning swim, while Staryu was getting healed up. Went out to swim with a magic cart. And today is going to be the start of the 3 of you continuing on your little journey. So, picking up...
Oh, yeah. And I also got yelled at by Harry's aunt for catching a fainted Pidgey.
You didn't get yelled at.
She kind of stared daggers at me.
You didn't get yelled at.
She may have had a knife. I don't know.
You got judged.
Got charged in pride.
But anyways, yeah. So the morning is pretty much done. Just gonna continue off from here. Morning is done. All your Pokemon have been healed. Max meets you guys, has met up back at the Pokemon Center, where you all get a nice little call on your Pokedexes. I'm not gonna say the name we've been giving it because whatever. You got a call. You're getting an incoming call.
Mhm.
And you can see just from the display, it's from Professor Aspen.
See his
pick up the
face.
call.
Good morning.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, you all simultaneously call, pick up the phone, and
Well,
you hear
what's
Almond.
supposed to?
Yeah, you hear Almond just gives a very loud good morning, and Aspen responds by going, not so loud. I just barely woke up, but I did get a notification. Looks like you made it to the Pokemon Center in Cherry Grove.
Indeed. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, we've completed the first part of our task, if you want to call it that.
I can see that. All of the data that you guys acquired from your battles has just got through, so I'm probably going to spend the next few hours analyzing it. Something did catch my eye, though. Quite a bit of normal-type Pokemon in the area. Well, that does make sense, considering the habitats. But did you guys have anything interesting that you ran into besides just the battle data that I have?
I'd just take out all 4 of my Pokemon.
I move out of the way because there's so many of them.
Yeah, Almond brings out all 4 of his Pokemon. Danny comes out. Danny's just, having a time, just being Danny. Just kind of chilling. Doesn't really like the bright lights of the Pokemon Center, it looks like. Doofy the Bidoof is just, happy. Just really happy. Just doofing. Sentret doesn't really have much going on. Curls up into a little ball. Whatever. And Pidgey gives a sharp look to Almond and then looks away. And just gives off this aura of absolute disdain.
Oh no, I made a shadow Pokemon.
So, Almond, I'm assuming you're like showing the Pokemon through the camera on your deck?
Yeah, very clumsily, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, nice. Some nice specimens you have there. Although that Pidgey looks a little angry. What did you do?
I kind of did an oopsie. And may have caught it while it was fainted.
Oh.
And me being the not so bright trainer I am, I kind of didn't have a revive on hand, and I had to rush it to the Pokemon Center, kind of bait up. That was not my brightest moment. It was sort of in the moment thing, because we were swarmed by a bunch of Pokemon.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you work together with it, it should feel a little more warmly towards you. But that is gonna be some nice data. I should factor in a variable for disposition. He just starts like mumbling to himself, not really. You just hear like different words, like loyalty rating and perhaps checking.
It's like I vaguely understand, but he's like mumbling under his breath, so I can't really hear him.
Yeah. But he does catch himself because he is in the middle of a conversation with you all, and he says, well, since you did complete the first task, and you're in Cherry Grove, I did want to give you guys a little bit of a tip while you're there. Cherry Grove is a small little fishing village. In fact, it tends to bring in quite a bit of like food, just general food supply. But the one thing that it is pretty known for nowadays is a fishing competition. What I would suggest to you, if you're looking for any type of challenge, is see when the competition is happening and go into entering. I don't know if there's a payment for entering a fishing contest, but would be interesting to get some more data on water Pokemon.
Looks to Max.
Cracking my knuckles. I fished him with my bare hands if I have to.
Yeah, there is also the lack of a fishing rod we have.
Well, if it's money you're hurting for, Route 30 tends to have quite a bit of trainers over there if you're looking to make some prize money. Almond, why did you suddenly turn into a car?
It happens sometimes.
I forgot to mute.
You should see him when he snores.
Next, it looks like you crashed. Yep. Quick pause while we try to figure out what happened to next.
Transformed and left.
Yeah. So here, I'll demonstrate. Here, game is paused. So for anybody that doesn't know, that happens the next, especially like Riddy, Austin. This happens the next quite a bit. Sometimes his internet will just sort of give up.
Past the Sundays.
Oh god damn! I unmuted and it closed the Firefox again. Because what happened was, apparently the command I used for my toggle mute is the same that closes Firefox. And I like closed it twice because I forgot to unmute, and now we're here.
Don't worry, we'll get you back in. I'll just cut this whole part out in the video. Thank you for having me.
It's for content.
Oh my god. Yeah, while he's getting situated, I'll respond to what Tronop said. Due to the fact that I've had terrible acid reflux, I made a decision to cut coffee for a bit. It's been a day and I'm constantly thirsty and tired. Yes, just don't drink so much coffee. I think that's a simple solution. Drink more water. Like me. Dehydrated.
Coffee is bad for you until it is.
That's the same sentence.
Exactly.
That's the same sentence.
Yeah.
Alright, we're back to roleplay mode. So after Almond transformed into a car temporarily for some reason, Professor Aspen just tells you that out on Route 30 there are some trainers, so if you're looking to earn some money in any way, a good idea to go and see who you can take on. As that's going to be one. Well, if you lose, it's usually a good idea to give prize money. So, don't lose, I guess.
Just get good.
So, anyways, I'm gonna go and take a look at the data that you've already collected. Which, again, good job catching each of you for catching your first Pokemon. Especially Almond with the number that you got. That's an impressive number for somebody who just started out on a journey.
3.
And it's just the beginning.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking normal types in this game. There it goes.
Yep. So I bid you guys a very good day, and again, thanks a lot. Also, don't forget about Mr. Pokemon. Take as much time as you want on that, but don't forget about him. Alright, bye-bye. And he hangs up pretty abruptly before you can say bye-bye back.
That was rude. Let's go to Mr. Pokemon last.
Agreed.
I mean,
Right.
if we do go to Mr. Pokemon, we could ask him about the fishing competition as well, if we're interested.
Or we could just check in town.
Who knows? Maybe he has a spare fishing rod. I mean, he is called Mr. Pokemon.
Yeah, but not Mr. Fishing Run.
Fishing is a part of Pokemon.
I'm okay with whatever you two want to do.
Yeah, well, let's just go. Let's go to the route and see what we can do. I mean, if we get rid of like having to report to Mr. Pokemon, then we have like the entire day to ourselves, and maybe like we won't get calls every single day.
I mean, I just do like a quick look around if there's any signs about this fishing competition or a poster in the media area.
Well, yeah, you're in the Pokemon Center, so each Pokemon Center does have a few amenities that's necessary for trainers. One of which is the place to heal your Pokemon. Another is just like a string of computers. Some are currently occupied. Like one or two other trainers that you can see. But it looks like they go over there to transfer out any Pokemon that they have in their storage. for their team. Another is a kind of like rest area, you know, bunch of couches, some tables for everybody, including a combination, like it's like a combination Pokemon market as well, so you could get basic items here. At least just from the shelves that you can see, there's basic items like Pokeballs, potions, antidotes, and the like. As well as a sleeping area for trainers who are just looking for a place to rest. Resting is free for trainers in a Pokemon Center, so you don't have to worry about paying any money for overnight, but you do have to pay for, you know, your food if you have it. So, or like if you need it. And the last thing is a monitor on the side that kind of like has several things going on. In the corner, there's like news and interest area where you see somebody talking about going-ons in the region. Another thing is kind of like local bulletin board. It's an electronic bulletin board that shows scheduled events and things like that. And then at the very bottom, it's kind of like a I guess I would call it like a mission board, where there's some people that are asking for help in like various things. So,
is there anything about the fishing competition on the board?
Yeah, I mean, you walk up over to it and just kind of like take a quick look, and you see that the fishing competition, or at least the next one, is going to be held in one day. It does detail that the entry fee is 150 Poke.
Well, that's not that much.
No.
Yeah.
Does it detail the prize at all?
Top prize is a set of lure balls. So 5 lure balls.
Are rods provided, or do we have to bring our own?
It just says for more information, head down to the dock and speak with Fisher Sam.
Perfect.
Supposedly it'll depend whether or not he's the only fisherman there on how long it'll take to find him.
Okay, gang. It's time for sprint. I sprint to the pier.
Alright, gang, let's split up and search for clues.
Hurry up!
Yeah. You guys are following behind Max, who's again full sprint. Max is following the salty smell of the sea air, just general direction, until he is the first one to see the port of Cherry Grove. It's a very, very small port, but he does see a very big sign on top of looks like a shack. Looks like a store that's also a shack that just says Fisher Sam's.
They're not very creative about their names, are they? Let's go in. Oh, actually, I'll wait for you to catch up first.
Yeah, you're just talking to yourself and you look back and like Harry's close by, but Almond is lagged behind and like trying to catch his breath.
Yeah, no, you all get there, and you all see the same thing. So it smells like a lot of fish around here.
Breathe in the salty air. It's gonna help you.
Yeah, it's like I'm about to fucking collapse and the fish is making me sick.
Yeah, don't worry about what type of fish it is, okay? Don't worry. Don't look at it. Don't look too closely.
Harry's
Don't
like
send out
covering
magic
his nose, and it's like, wow, this is some really smelly vegan food.
Well, it's a shack with
Let's go.
apparently
Actually,
thousands of fish.
Is that a store or is it his house? I'll knock first.
It looks like it's a store. It looks like it is a fishing equipment store, actually. The only fishing equipment store in the town.
Right,
The
So-
fishing town only has one fishing equipment store.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big store. It's supposed to look like a rundown shack. But you do, like, look at and you see, like, merchants that are like, selling fish. One is, like, selling, like, live... We're gonna retcon, okay? These look like just your average fish, not Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're gonna retcon. I know that's
Actual
uncomfortable.
fish, never explained.
Never explained.
just accepted.
Just accept it, yeah. We won't eat Pokemon here anymore. Yeah, like... These are just like the acceptable things to eat because they don't have not feelings. They don't have the
They're
like
non-sentient.
they don't have the abilities like Pokemon do, you know? Whereas Pokemon can like understand human speech and all that. These are just fish. These are edible fish.
Mhm.
Well, I go in.
Yep. You guys head inside and you see just several employees just kind of like stocking the shelves, running. They're kind of running around and hurrying because, you know, fishing contest tomorrow. And then there's this really, really large man. I don't have art for this because I had to improv this. There's a really large man kind of overseeing everything. He picks up a crate, hauls it onto his shoulders, and takes it over to the front desk. And Max, because this would technically be your element because this is full of water Pokemon, you see that crate is full of lure balls, hand nets, and bait. But also next to this, like the cash register, I'm gonna say, I should have said not desk, the cash register is an entire line of fishing rods in various colors and various strengths. Almond has transformed into a car again. I'm gonna keep saying that every time.
He's just excited. Good morning.
Ah, yes. The good morning to you. How can old Sam help you?
Well, I'm here to dominate the fishing competition, but I need some more information.
He gives you a look up and down and just goes, "Have you ever fished before, Sonny?"
Let's say I did.
He
For the sake of argument, let's say.
he leans in really, really close, opens one eye really wide, as if he's giving you a scan up and down. And then he goes, "I don't believe you. But
Wow.
everybody gets a chance at my fishing competition. So what would you like to know?"
Do we need our own equipment, or will it be provided for the competition?
He gives out a laugh and he says, "Now what kind of fishing contest would it be if people couldn't participate? I do provide equipment, although everyone's welcome to bring their own. Although, what you do get is just a plain old rod. Now, of course, there's 3 tiers of fishing rods," and he points over to the wall over here, "that you can purchase for yourself. But old rods, they're good enough. They'll do the job."
Yes, of course. I'll just quickly glance at the prices.
Yep. So you're taking a look at the fishing rod. So yeah, you would get an old rod to rent for the competition. Basically, that's what the fee is for. Is basically the rod rental. I know I put it here. Where is the equipment? But yeah, you see that he sells. So how fishing rods are graded are, they call it like old, good, and super. Old rod doesn't really mean like old and beat up. It's just kind of is what is graded now. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows where it started. But you
It's
see
like an old model.
yeah. Old rods are 1,000 Poke. Good rods are priced at 5,000. And the super rods, which seem to have the highest strength and a better reel, are 15,000.
Ah, yes. Free it is. Cool. Well, the competition is tomorrow, correct?
Aye, it is going to be tomorrow. Entry, I did say the entry fee was 150, right? Yeah. Entry fee would be 150, and you would sign up here.
Are we cool to stay here or come back here tomorrow?
Yeah, you've got plenty of
so-
time. The contest will happen all day, and winners who submit their catches before the evening will be eligible for the prize. And then I announce the next morning who won.
All right. Harry, if you want, I can pay for you, but after that, I might need some help with money myself.
I'll say yes only if all three of us want to participate. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if we got some, or we tried getting some money here, because I don't want to take all of your money.
All right. Well, we
Well, I
can.
haven't really pitched in, so I can. If you're hurting, I can just pay for one of you.
Well, I still have 375, so I'm okay to pay for me and Harry. But after that, if you could maybe help us with food afterwards.
Yeah, because I have 425 on me.
Well, yes. All right. Well, that's a good idea to actually go and maybe get some money first. But do we have to pay now, or can we pay tomorrow?
Store will be open all day tomorrow, so you can come and pay then if you'd like.
Perfect.
I assume we'd have to sign up here.
Yes. Yes, I told that to your friend here as well. Not too long ago.
Yeah, I was just like asking for like a billboard to actually sign our names.
Nah, he points over on the cash register. There's a stack of forms in a box.
Look,
Okay. We'll take and fill them out, but we'll drop them off tomorrow with money if we manage to get something more today.
Sounds good. And if you are in the market for lure balls, they got a big shipment. 800 Poke a piece, although if you win the competition tomorrow, you'll get 5 of them for free.
Don't worry, they have my name on it.
All right. So yeah, I'm assuming you guys all exit the store.
yes. Well, I do anyway.
Yep.
Thanks for your help, Fisher Sam.
Yeah, he waves goodbye and he goes back to picking up huge fucking crates.
Yes.
So anyways, it's starting to roll over to the afternoon. So I'm gonna say that you guys resting up your Pokemon and this whole interaction would have taken the morning. So you still have 2 actions left during the day.
Route 30 to kick some ass.
May as well.
All right.
I'm not gonna enter that competition. That's more Reedy's thing. If Austin wants to go in, he can.
I mean, we'll have
but
more
I
chances to
also-
win lure balls. They're expensive.
Yeah, but I also have kind of 2 Pokemon over both of y'all, so.
So
We
So I
have
feel
time
like-
to think about it, so we can decide tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, Route 30 sounds fine.
All right then. It's time
Alright.
to jog there.
So I'm gonna move you guys just real quick. Okay.
Ooh, what's the mic?
So. All right. So you guys are looking to challenge people, right?
Yes.
And you're heading over to Route 30. So yeah. You guys head over into Route 30. You see some signs like at the edge of town that says, this way to Violet City, Route 31 to Violet City. another sign that says to Mr. Pokemon's house, and a third one that points in a direction that just says designated training area. So, you know, each route usually has one. Sometimes they don't, but you know, this is one of the areas that do. And it leads you to what looks to be a park, and you see a lot of different trainers around. Some are already in the middle of a battle. Others are kind of talking to each other and showing off their Pokemon. You see some of them just kind of standing around, teaching the Pokemon like tricks or just general training as well. And you're looking for a battle. And I'm just gonna do a quick little thing here. Don't worry about whenever you see a dice roll. This is just to determine how difficult this battle will be. So.
It's a 4. We're gonna die.
Hold on. That wasn't supposed to be on. Did that show as a question mark for you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Did I actually call it?
Yeah, that's why I'm re-rolling. Cause I look at the
glad
cap.
that I played. I'm good at the mind games today.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, you guys go up and you walk up to these trainers. I'm getting my NPCs out. You see a bug catcher kid, a girl, probably a lass, and a youngster, and they were all just kind of sitting around in a circle having a chat, and they notice you, and it's the youngster who just first goes, "Hey, those guys look pretty tough. Think we should have a battle with them?" And he runs up to Max first
What?
and just says,
Watch.
"Me and my friends would like to battle you guys. You know, put some money on the line. Figured give us some practice before we head off to Violet City."
I mean, your parents will be mad, but sure.
All right, cool. And so then he runs back to the group. They all convene together, and we are gonna go. And now they take you all to a nice open area where you have plenty of space to have your battle. And you guys are all out first. So if wait, hold on. Stop route 29. There we go. That's the wild battle. That's not what I want. Supposed to be this one. There we go. Much better. So how this is going to work is from top to bottom. At least this is supposed to be a trainer battle. Let me change this. There we go. Oh, Almond's not dead.
Oh no! Oh, it died! Should I have run here?
So how we're going to do the trainer battle, I know we ran through this once before, guys. So how we're going to do it today is you each have your trainer action, and then on your Pokemon's turn is when you'll do the moves, okay? Like when you do the move commands. But at the start of every battle is when, as we go down the list, this is where you're going to send out your Pokemon. So it's going to be a very, very simple team fight. The rules are simply this. First team to lose 6 Pokemon or just run out of usable Pokemon loses. And you guys have the luxury of using up to 3 Pokemon in this battle from your team.
Well, alright. You guys better not let Star you fate, because the only thing I have is Magikarp buff.
So So, Almond, I'm actually going to just do this real quick so that your timer restarts. You're up first. Bring out your Pokemon.
The time has come. Go, Doofy.
All right. So, up next is the Bug Catcher. And Bug Catcher is going... I'm going to get my special Bug Catcher roll table.
I'm also noticing there's no grid.
The Bug Catcher says, "Go, Spinnerack." Yeah, there's no grid on this, so don't worry about it.
Still shows like the limit. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool.
Yep, it still shows a limit. Bug Catcher sends out a Spinnerack. The youngster. This is Route 30. Youngster says, "Shinx, it's up to you." And then the last. Both from the same roll table. I don't have these pre-rolled because I think this is much more dynamic. Rattata! I don't do girl voices very well. So it's a shiny Rattata!
Oh my god. It's a gold rat.
It's a gold rat. Max!
Gold experience.
I only have one battler, so let's smash them.
Okay. And now Harry. Harry sent out Ryan. Alright, and I can do the fun thing and actually skip to the next round. Woohoo! So now we start a full battle. Alright, Almond, what are you gonna do?
Okay, Bidoof is gonna...
The-
Oh, actually, he's a fast motherfucker.
So hold on, one second next. Bidoof isn't gonna move yet. This is your trainer turn.
Oh, right.
So on this one you can do like your orders. Yeah.
Run up and use Growl.
Alright. Is there anything else you want to do? You want to do like a training order?
Oh yeah, I have those.
Yeah, you do.
Just gonna do... Is this the one? No. Where is it?
It'll say training.
Oh, there it is. Well, I have a lot of things that are like teaching and stuff. I gotta mentally do some gymnastics.
So you give out an Aspire training order to your Bidoof, making it a little bit more evasive. Good job. All right. So we're gonna go through the Bug Catcher. The Bug Catcher just goes for tell Spinnerack. Spinnerack, target the Staryu. Youngsters, what do you know? The youngster goes, "Shinx, go after the Staryu."
I sense a pattern here.
I sense a pattern.
And the last says, "Rattata, prepare yourself." It's openly
That's
vague.
it?
Yeah, no, they have their own trainings. Max, what are you doing?
Alright, they want you. Don't let it happen. I'll apply agility training to it to start you.
Okay.
So, and then I'll just get yourself in position, then blast him away.
All right. Harry.
I'll apply Inspire training to Ryan, and I'll tell him to run up and fake out the Shinx.
Okay. So fake out is as long as it's at the start. Hey.
Yeah.
So actually, because you're given that fake out order, before Staryu has a move, go ahead and have Ryan do the fake out. because that's priority.
Blah.
Oh, a nice hit to the shank as it takes 22 damage and becomes flinched. Which one is flinched? That's cursed. That's confused. That's badly poisoned. We didn't do that.
Probably just use the paralyzed.
No, there's actually a status effect. Finding it. I'm gonna get it. Yep, there we go. Flinched. So that takes up your Pokemon's move. So Staryu's up now.
Alright, Staryu can move now 5. Staryu will support Ryan from like, I'm gonna move 2, okay, 3 here, and then 2 in the air.
Alright, you
I
can do that.
Fly. So, let's move here. Up to 3.
Because Staryu is magic.
And then you said 2 in
And
the air.
then, yes. And then I'm not sure if it's in range for line 4. It
So-
should be, right?
Down 2, and then over 3, so that's technically 5 away. It's just easier math in my head.
Alright.
I'm not
Then
doing the
I'll
Yeah, do the
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem every time, Sajochi.
No, I'm not doing that. So it would be out of range, just out of range. So,
That's it.
all right, Ryan's already taken their turn. Now it's the Rattata. Rattata is going to use the move Focus Energy. And then it's going... How far do you move? It's going to get in a position closer to Bidoof, but like over this way. All right,
Exactly as planned.
Bidoof time.
Okay, so Bidoof's gonna go up to the closest people to him. How fucking far can this boy go? Holy shit.
I mean, you did put agility training up to 5, yeah.
No, I don't have agility training. He's just built
He's
like
just
that.
fast. he built different.
Yeah, so he's gonna run up to this Rattata. And
Okay.
he's gonna use Growl. Is Growl an AoE?
It is an AoE.
Okay, so maybe it'll hit this spinny. What? Why did it do it twice?
I didn't do it twice.
No, but I did it twice in the chat thing.
Spinarak is just out of range.
Oh, dang.
So let's see. Growl is supposed to... Why? Yep. Go ahead and hit apply effect if you're able to.
It's great up.
Huh. Wonder why that won't do that. Don't worry, I could fix it. Here we go. So that's lower by 1 CS.
He just got doofed.
Got doofed.
Oh,
So
no.
attack got lowered by 1 stage on the Rattata. He got doofed. Good. Good. Awesome. Amazing. Lovely. Cool. Anyways. Spinarak is up. And Spinarak, how far do you move? Just as it was ordered, is going to go towards Staryu. Lucky,
Which is a
lucky.
spider.
Lucky, lucky. Very, very lucky.
He's also flying.
And both of you happen
Or
to be out of
levitating?
both of you happen to be out of range, so it does attempt to use String Shot at your Staryu as it was ordered. but it doesn't reach. So that's a miss. Shinx is flinched, and I forgot to put the journal notes on what flinch do.
Well,
Because there's a change to flinch. If you give me just a second to quickly review. That's capture mechanics. We don't want that. I think it's in the May playtest?
Oh, they changed it from the actual book.
Yep.
Never mind, ignore that then.
No. We're doing this. It'll take you 2 seconds. This is only 3 playtest packets. We got this. Status conditions. Let's see. Flinch. Upon becoming flinched, user lowers their initiative by 5, which I think has already happened. Make a save check that succeeds. Okay. Alright. So I have to do a save check. So, the Shinx, which is currently flinched right now, tries to shake it off. But it's unable to shake off the flinch status. The only thing that it can do is target your Pokemon and attempt to make an attack, which is going to tackle.
Wow, flinch is useless.
It can't move from this spot, and it's also vulnerable. Also, you
That's stinky.
flinch also slows them. It drops their initiative, so they go last. So, gets you and deals 18 damage, which I just realized that your health bars aren't showing again. That is. Okay, there we go. Alright, but yeah, you get 18 damage dealt to you, but the Shinx can't move from there.
Wow, jeez.
Oh, that's paralyzed. I read the wrong one. I am sorry. I'm going to remove that damage. They don't do anything. That was my bad.
I was kind of hoping. I was like, flinch, I thought it's just a straight, they skip their turn. It's like,
Yep. So, yeah, Shinx is flinched. And at the... And it's flinched for this... It's gonna come back at the beginning. So, boom. Back up at the top. Almond, what's your order?
Bidoof. Tackle.
Alright, so you're gonna have Bidoof use Tackle.
Tackle the mouse.
Okay. I read Paralyzed, by the way. Bugcatcher says, Spinrack, get closer to the Staryu and bring it down. Youngster says, no, Shinx! Take it off, buddy! The last says, Rattata, go after that Bidoof. Max.
I will reapply agility training.
Yeah, you can't because
Actually,
it's
no,
already
no.
active.
I would like to switch trainings.
Can you swap trainings? Because Pokemon can only be under effect of one order.
Yeah, if I switch orders, will the old one go away and replace it with a new one?
No.
I
And
think
or
we're saying that like it's every other turn now that we can apply.
Yeah,
orders. It's like they
because
fall off at the end or something.
it falls off at the start of the Pokemon's next turn.
Alright.
So
Well, then start your hit and run. Shinx.
hit and run the Shinx. All right. Harry.
Can I ask what a Pokemon would normally do if the Pokemon they're attacking faints, or they were ordered to attack is fainted?
Then you would just tell me that they would either acquire a new target or do like a self-buffing move of some kind. Because even though they're following your orders, as these are hold on, I'm gonna pause real quick. Your Pokemon technically are inexperienced in battle. So in the beginning, they'll try their best to interpret whatever your order is, and you just tell me like what they're going to do. I might override depending on what's going on. But for the most part, like as they get more experience with battles, they'll get an idea of what you would like to do if the Pokemon they're targeting has fainted.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Well, I guess I just tell Ryan he's scratching Shinx as well then.
Alright. So, Staryu, before you do anything, I'm just gonna get rid of... The agility training wears off. But it still gets its turn because, you know, it was faster. It was already faster.
Yeah. I will move. What was the command to do? That's 3, and I'll move another one this way. And then I will water gun the Shinx.
Okay.
If I did it correctly. Water gun.
Oh, yep. Right in range. Your Staryu goes in, does a water gun, dealing 29 damage, which I believe causes Shinx to be fainted and is returned to the youngster's Pokeball. Alright. So on the youngster's next turn, new Pokemon will come out.
That's it.
Yep, alright. So we'll count you as moved. Ryan is up now.
Would you say that Ryan would then attempt to scratch Spinarak? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Give him a good old smack.
Yep.
Well.
Ryan goes up to the Spinarak, attempts to give it a good scratch, but the Spinarak is a little bit too fast for you. A little bit too fast. Somehow. Now it's Rattata. Rattata, which had focus energy, but I guess that didn't mean Upkiss. It's going to attempt to bite your Bidoof. And it's going to be a hit. Ooh, you did not get flinched. And you take 19 damage. So. And there. That's the rat's turn. Bidoof's turn. Which, hold on, Bidoof doesn't have Inspired. Alright, you're good.
Oh, it's my turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Spaced out really hard. Yeah, Bidoof is just staring down this Rattata, kind of pissed, and does a tackle.
Good old tackle attack. A direct hit. Dealing 11 damage and forcing the Rattata to fly...
Out of the map.
right here.
Out of bounds.
We're not sending it out of bounds. That's not happening. There's no out of boundaries. Not yet. Not yet.
It's like that Smash, like, baseball mini game where you smash the target out of the ring.
Yep. Alright, Spinarak. Seeing that it is currently being threatened, is instead... Are these at will? Because if these are at will... Aha! Spinarak, being threatened, hits Ryan. It's going to attempt to hit Ryan with an infestation, which hits, dealing 10 damage, and puts Ryan in a vortex. I think the vortex is a circle. It's very hard to tell, like, what is what on the status page. It is just a circle. So you are now inside of a vortex, which so glad I had the... Oh, car time. And the vortex. While you're in a vortex, you're slowed, trapped. You're also trapped, and you lose a tick of health at the beginning of each of your Pokemon's turns. So this actually applies trap as well as slowed. There. And then at the end of each of your Pokemon's turns, you roll a 1d20 to end all of the effects. You must roll a 20 or higher to dispel the vortex on the first turn, after which it's lowered by 6 the following turns. Okay? So it's just a save check on Ryan's page.
Okay.
And because it is trapped, Spinarak is going to attempt to move away from you. The maximum movement.
Does that mean I can't take a opportunity attack, or is it because I can't move that I can't?
Doesn't say anything about not being able to take an opportunity attack. So yeah, before Spinarak moves, if you want to go ahead. Very nice. It dealt 11 damage, and it moves its close to maximum movement towards the Staryu, which is its initial target. Alright. Almond.
And I'm just gonna say, keep at it, Bidoof. Show that rat what a... What would Bidoof even be? A beaver?
Yes. Are you applying your training?
Should I go now? I guess I should. I keep forgetting. Oh, hold on. I think abort to thing. Okay. Inspired training.
Alright, you give it an inspired order, and Bidoof is feeling really good. Feeling pretty good. Alright. Bugcatcher. The Spinarak, bring that Staryu down! Don't worry about the dumb cat! The youngster who returned their Pokemon pulls out a second Pokeball. Aha! And just says, it's alright, Shinx. Go! Purloin! And a Purloin comes out. And because it was a swap, the Purloin gets to have its move this turn. And it says, Purloin, go after the Glameow. Now it's the last. Rattata! Make sure that I understand how this move works. Rattata, use Quick Attack on the Bidoof! Which makes Rattata move immediately. Target. And Quick Attack. And it whiffs. It was a critical miss. Wait.
Apparently he was also going for the cat,
Hold on.
so it's a critical miss.
That was...
He missed on both.
Congratulations.
It said you were both
played
out of
yourself.
range. But I'm gonna keep the critical miss.
Yeah.
Keep the critical miss. And that means Rattata has move. Max.
Alright, keep evading the bug and smash it. I'll apply. I would apply brutal training to Staryu.
Okay. You give Staryu some brutal training, making the crit range even bigger, stronger. Harry.
I believe that Vortex means I can't swap, and I also can't move, right?
Can't swap because it's trapped. And Ryan cannot move.
Well, I guess I'll apply training, but I don't think I can ask Ryan to do anything. I guess if Purloin happens to be faster, if Purloin comes into range, he's trash.
Okay.
So try to get him to struggle out.
It's gonna be on Ryan's turn.
Yeah, it's at the end of its turn, so
So at the beginning,
I
go.
just hope Purloin's faster, I guess.
Yep. All right. You said you're applying Inspire training.
Yes.
Okay. So Ryan, at the very beginning, takes a tick of health, which is -4 health.
Oh, how come Ryan is faster now?
Because Staryu doesn't have agility order on.
Oh. Well, okay.
And then at the end of the turn, Ryan can make a save. If you want to roll it, just go under combat and click on make save for Ryan. So it is, you have to get 20 or over on the first one, but the next one will be at 4. You got to roll above 14 to get out of it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's Ryan's turn. Staryu's up.
Yes, Staryu will move. I have total of 4. I'll move 1 up. And then I'll get 3 left. I'll move like close-ish to the Spinnerack, but not too close. Like here. And that's 3 in the air.
So
And
you're moving 1 up in the air.
Yep. And I believe that it's still within 4. 3 in the air and 1 away. Which would be enough for a water gun on the bug.
Yep. Ooh! In range, it's a hit. That Spinnerack took 29 damage, and it looks like it's pretty worn out now from the torrent that you placed upon it. Alright.
That's it.
Yep. And now we're going to go up to Purloin, who's going to move next. Now, I did want to mention something. So, Harry, it is no longer necessary to roll the save for Ryan.
Why is that?
Because it automatically rolls at the end of the turn.
Oh, okay.
So we'll delete that. So don't worry about it. Alright, so Purloin, after getting an order to go after Ryan, is gonna move in. Move in on you. Okay. And it's going to do a scritchy scratch.
Yeah, sorry about that background noise.
So
It's bad.
So this one is not supposed to. That. There we go. Had to override.
Targeting multiple Pokemon.
So Purloin went in and got a critical hit on Ryan. Unfortunately, Ryan has fainted.
Oh no.
So at the start of your turn, you can bring out a Pokemon and you can immediately give it an order.
Okay.
All right. But Bidoof time.
Bidoof time.
Oh,
Oh.
there you go.
Yeah, my
Bidoof got
uncle's
some
being a
wheels.
complete ass right now. Sorry, I just had to kind of wait for that to pass.
Nah, you're fine.
But yeah, I'm just Bidoof's gonna go for it.
Oh,
Nice.
that sounded like it was
That's
a
a crit.
critical hit. Dealing
That rat is
31
fucking dead.
dealing 31 damage, but the Rattata is still standing.
Ow.
And you pushed it 2 meters this way. Boom. Man, you are just having a slugfest over there, aren't you? Alright.
Yeah, apparently this Rattata's built different.
The Spinnerack is just so 100% done. You are in the air. And it's going to move closer to its trainer.
Yes, run, coward.
It's going to move closer to its trainer.
Just floating there, menacingly.
What? Almond.
Oh yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, keep it up, Bidoof, he's on the ropes. Rock him up.
Alright.
And just I can reapply Inspire training, right?
It's still on him.
That's still on? Okay.
Yep. Alright.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell him to tackle again.
Okay. Bugcatcher, seeing his Spinnerack is really hurt, is going to move closer to it. And is going to use 1 potion. I did not give him a potion. He does not use a potion.
The one potion he does not have.
The Spinnerack had such a hope in its eyes.
The Bugcatcher did not move over that way, and just says, and just goes, Spinnerack, return. Return Spinnerack, and swaps out.
Lugia.
Oh, easy.
Go, Caterpie! So here comes the Caterpie. But the Caterpie doesn't move this turn, unfortunately, because that was a swap out. Youngster. Purloin, ignore the starfish. Head for the Bidoof. The last says, is this at will? It is. Quick attack again, Rattata. Don't let the Bidoof get you. And it rolls in. Gets that targeting. It hits you for 25 damage.
Up.
Meaning now that's made its move. Max.
Stario, don't let it ignore you. Just get it. Go after the cat.
Okay, sorry. Harry, what Pokemon you bringing out?
So are we saying that the trainers actually have to move to the Pokemon to apply like potions and stuff?
In this context, yes. In other places like gyms, you're considered to always be in range of your Pokemon.
Well, I guess Harry will throw out Honor, but then he'll try to make his way over to Doofy. What is the what's the thing you add to control to make it lock on to like only increments of 1?
Well, but there's no grid.
There's no
so
grid,
it
that's
doesn't.
why.
Oh, you
So-
literally just have to hard do it. Okay.
It should stop right at... Hold on. It should stop, like, right where your movement should end. Because that's what Drag Ruler does. So... Do you know how it does that?
Well, I did that manually, but okay. I'll try it next time.
Yeah, it should like give like a weird little stopping point, and then either before or after. But you also do have an extra action in order to like command Starly.
Yeah, I'll tell Starly to go for a quick attack. For
All right, because that's a priority move. Go ahead and do the move. That was a miss, but that's
I'm
unfortunate.
so unlucky in combat. Oh my god.
All right, Star you.
I'll put you
Never
back.
lucky, always punished.
Technically, I could be in the same square as Starly because I'm 3 meters above it, right?
Technically, yes, but try to like put yourself like at least off center.
Yeah, that's... Technically, yes, I am above Starly because I don't want to lose more movement. That would be only 3 to get there.
Yep.
And I'll water gun the cat. Make it wet.
Gun it down.
Got it down.
Nice. That's a direct hit, dealing 31 damage to the cat, which is still standing. My god, you are a monster. I forgot to remove brutal training. But you know what? I think at the end of the next turn would actually work better. That way it fits. There we go. I buffed you guys. Don't worry. Purloin is right here. And although it was going to go after the Bidoof, it is now threatened by 2 Pokemon, one of which is a Starly. And
One of which is its natural enemy.
it is a natural enemy. That might be a difficult move to pull off, actually. Yeah, it's just gonna go for a scratch. I don't know why that keeps doing that because I still have you targeted up there. Don't worry. 22 damage to your Starly, whose health is not showing for everybody. There we go. There. 22 damage to Starly with the scratch. Isn't going to leave this spot, though, because, you know, that would be very dumb. Bidoof! Bidoof! Bidoof is on fire!
It's doofing time.
It's doofing time.
How far can I go?
4.
Okay, that cancels it. Kind of wish I could just chuck the potion at him.
Yeah, but he wouldn't know how to use
no,
it.
it's right. It's Bidoof itself. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, kill.
Oh, no!
You unfortunately miss the Rattata. And your training, your order has worn off at the end of your turn. But coming up to Almond, everything's looking up Almond.
How far do I have to be to use the potion?
1 melee.
Damn.
Your
Because I can
Pokeball's
only-
return beam is 8 meters, by the way.
That is true. Does that invoke an attack of opportunity, though?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to return the doof.
Okay. So, go ahead. And then send out your next Pokemon. Keep in mind, your Pokemon cannot make a move this turn because you did an active swap out.
Good Danny.
Alright. Send out Danny, who won't be able to take a move this turn.
They're in trouble now.
They are in trouble.
My Danny has learned spite. He is now unstoppable.
Alright, Bug Catcher. With the Caterpie. It's going to... How far do you move? Wow, you move pretty far. He's just going to say, Caterpie, head towards that Dunsparce. Wow, that's actually really cool. Youngster goes, Purloin, take out the Starly. Rattata, back up, back up and charge up. Yep. All right, Max.
Bring down the cat now. I'll apply brutal training.
Aw, yeah.
Oh man.
Let me select myself. Oh, you did it?
Yep.
Or should I do
just
it still?
yeah, just still do it in the chat. I've been going into your sheets and just adding it on and removing it as I need, because there's no button that does that automatically for some reason. Harry.
So we're counting movement as one of the 2 main actions then.
No, that's you have your standard action, and then you have a shift, and then you have an extra trainer action that can't be used for like combat stuff.
So I could move to Starly, use a potion as 1 action, and then command it after?
And then use your like an order feature, yes.
Order as in using like Inspire Training, or I could actually tell it to do something.
The Pokemon have their own Pokemon have their own moves, like their own attack and move. So even if you don't
No, I
give
know,
like a
but, like-
direct order, like
Oh, okay.
yeah. Now ordering a Pokemon is technically not an action. Unless you're
Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so I can always tell it to do something, even if I'm doing like my other actions.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
Okay.
guess Harry will move over and use a potion on Starly.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's in range, right? Starly's on the ground.
Yep, you're in range.
Is there a... Do I have to just click on it?
Yep.
Or
So-
should I have targeted Starly for that?
Nope. So you heal Starly 20. 20 hit points.
Okay, I'll tell it to just use tackle. And I'll also use Inspire Training, I guess.
So you're giving it the order to use Inspire Training in order to make its tackle even better. Kind of. maybe.
Well,
Well, it doesn't do anything for
it can
tackle,
dodge better after it tackles, I guess.
Dodge better.
I try to hit it and then dodge it after.
but try to hit it and then don't get hit.
All right. Are you?
Oh, you know what time it
Avoid
is?
damage.
It's
What
time
again?
to take down that cat. What a god!
Oh! Direct hit. The purloin goes down, and it is fainted. The youngster just goes, "Oh man, I'm out of Pokemon." So I'm gonna remove the youngster out of initiative. Yo,
Delete him.
Connor.
Okay, I'm assuming he'll go for Caterpie. Sajochi.
I mean, yeah. The closest one. And, you know, bird to worm.
Oh my god.
You go in,
Oh,
but it's a
wow.
critical miss. You just kind of like, technically, it's a dash. Oh, did you guys know that tackle is a dashing move? That means you can move. I think it's like your movement. I want to say.
Oh, so like they run up, and part of that is like the attack.
Yep.
Oh.
To do a push. Yep. So yeah, you just kind of go and you just kind of keep going.
It's okay, guys. You're trying your best, Connor.
All right. Rattata is going to move up over here. All right. And see.
He thinks he can run.
Focus energy. Because I forgot to put down that they're pumped. Not infatuated.
Start playing.
Where's the positive effect? Where is it?
It's the effect that makes them a positive thing.
Wow, there's actually no pump status effect.
Just give him the Super Saiyan one. Just... We'll know what it means.
The Super Saiyan one? Okay, yeah, well, I mean, because these things actually have their own effects, that's why you don't want to just put a random one on. Press. It's okay, they're pumped. So, Rattata's pumped up, it has a higher critical range. I just gotta keep that in mind. But, Caterpie, now threatened by a Starly. So it's actually going to use its action to disengage and move a meter this way. And it's going to turn around and use String Shot.
Does that invoke a attack of opportunity?
No.
Disengage.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh wait,
You're right.
Disengage and then do an action.
No, he can't. Yep,
You
disengage.
can only run like a little bitch.
As gonna run this way.
Cool.
But Almond, you're up.
Alright, Dunsparce, you know how this goes. Roll out!
That was kind of a dumb place to move. I just realized.
Just a speed bump now.
Rolls by. I wish I could. That would make the most sense.
The bug catcher goes, Caterpie, no, not that way! The last. Rattata, try to help Caterpie out. With a quick attack.
Help it up by attacking.
Yeah. So, how far do you move? 6?
Roll up can't hit two Pokemon at once, can it?
No,
Okay.
it's one target. Sure
Awesome.
that I have all of these off. So Rattata's going in for the quick attack. It missed.
Oh wait, can I use Spite even though that didn't hit?
You gotta take damage.
Ah, damn it.
Yep. But, Max.
Get close to whatever you can and water gun.
You are a menace. Harry.
So when birds fly,
You take
do
you
they have
take
to go
a
one up?
so however much your like flight movement is, you're spending however many of that to go up vertically, and then whatever's left you can move like horizontally.
Okay, but then they need to go at least one up to use.
They have to
their
go at least
flying.
one up in order to be flying, yes.
Okay. So if this is 4 away, and I have 5 movement, that means technically Starly couldn't hit it, right?
If you
Because
use
it has to
tackle,
go up one.
if you use tackle,
Oh.
tackles whatever like valid movement you have.
Oh, so tackle like doubles the movement?
Technically, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Uh,
think Starly can use tackle because he has to go up 1, over here 4, and then
I mean, I
down
could get-
1.
Yeah, I
to
could
hit
get I could get you the ruling. So
Okay, I'm assuming it can tackle this, so I just tell it to tackle Caterpie.
hold on, I'll get you. All it says. Oh, you know what? All it says is on a dash. A dash move cannot be used if the user is stuck. I'm just gonna rule it that that's really cool, and that's how that works. I'm gonna rule with the rule of cool.
Okay, Starly, try to tackle the Caterpie.
Okay, so you're moving. You said you're moving up, or
Well, Starly only has 2 overland, so it couldn't reach normally. Oh, actually, I guess it could if it just runs on the ground, if it's doubling range.
yeah.
But, okay, well, however it wants to go.
Okay,
Whatever it has to do to get there.
whatever its heart desires. All right, Star, you.
Right. My movement is 4. I won't be able to get in range for anything, but I'll get closer at least. That's it.
Isn't it
Okay.
like a 2-meter thing?
It's 4, so I'd have to be 1 away.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought one of
because
them was ranged.
so he's 3 up and about 2 meters away. So.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not doing pipe bag.
All right, Starly. Why is that showing up like that for you?
Nice.
Yay, one of you finally hit someone.
At long last. Damage.
And I'm fixing Starly's sheet real quick.
Is it missing something?
Apparently, Connor belonged to everybody for some reason.
Aw.
Lol.
Do you mean because we can see it in the photos?
Yep.
I can
So,
see
well, I
like
could-
pretty much anyone that anyone else caught. So I can see Pidgey,
Yeah, I
Sentient,
can
and
see
Magikarp.
everyone, including Magikarp. Wait, can I summon him?
No! Don't you dare!
Oh my god! I
Okay,
had to test it out.
Okay, honor system. I'm gonna fix that later. Honor system. Don't do that again.
I
Like my
won't.
Pokeballs.
I just had to see if it was possible.
Alright.
Magikarp just phases into existence for a moment, like, hey, what the heck?
Blips in and out of existence because Almond squinted.
All right, but yes, you go. Starly goes in for a nice little tackle. Gets a direct hit on the Caterpie, dealing 15 damage. Wow, this Caterpie is actually pretty tanky for some reason. Anyways, Danny time.
The Caterpie should be pushed as well.
So,
Oh yeah.
question for you. I had this cool little idea. So rollout is a pass move,
Yeah,
Nice.
meaning he can move afterwards, right?
you would have to move into a valid space, like a valid empty space.
Does that include the air?
No, I would say it would have to, like, wherever you are and your target is, it would have to be on the same spot.
Yeah,
Okay.
move it straight line.
I was going to just like have him bounce off and just like go straight up and just hover menacingly.
All right, but you're
But
gonna
yeah,
roll.
I'll just
you're
gonna roll.
Roll. Oh. You got that Rattata of fame. And the last goes, no! That was my last Pokemon!
It is only the worm.
Prepare your wallets.
Caterpie is scared.
String shots out of fear.
That's usually what it does, but it's gonna actually just attempt to bug bite you.
Oh, no.
Dealing 7 damage.
Lol.
Alright, top of the round. Hold on. Yep, Almond.
Danny, you know what to do. Finish it.
You
And
okay?
I'm not even gonna give it training. It's the last Pokemon. It's a fucking Caterpie.
Bug catcher just says, It just looks at the last and just goes, Caterpie, take them down. Max.
Didn't one of them return a like half-dead Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yep, the bug catcher. Star, you take it down. Training? Is that
Yep.
the turn for training? Brutal training.
Oh god. You're trying to kill him. Harry.
It's just a worm.
Should be in the ground.
I guess I'll ask Starly to do a quick attack. That'd be a range.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You again in melee, yeah.
It's exactly 2 meters.
And it takes its move now. That is a nice hit. Ooh. 17 damage and the Caterpie is still up. Let's start you. It's start you time.
For long.
It's that what's that gif with JoJo's where they're all just kicking the dude?
Oh.
Damn it.
The
Spoke too
Caterpie.
soon.
The
Feel my
Caterpie is
pain.
he's
Oh,
trying
no.
to survive.
Mission objective: survive.
Daddy.
It's time to rob.
And with
Just barely
that,
hit.
with that, the Caterpie faints and is returned to the Pokeball. The bug catcher, with a sad look in his eye, looks at the last Pokemon he has.
Just give up, kid.
You know what? Roll and intimidate.
Oh, I'm not good at intimidating people. I'm usually friendly. I'm
good.
pathetic at intimidation.
Well, you've got the max roll possible, but you're
Okay. You roll intimidate, telling him to just give up, and it's just enough. And he just goes, "Fine, I forfeit."
To be fair, he had, what was it? A Spinnerack at 1 HP?
A half-dead spinner. Alright.
Yeah. But you guys do win the battle. The 3 trainers that you just faced, they're cheering because it was actually super fun for them as well. But they all go together. They pull out their wallets and give you guys a stack of cash.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Total 150.
Nice.
So 50 each.
Yay.
You can keep my 50, Max. I still owe you 25 after that.
That's fine. This way you can at least buy yourself your food. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you. I'll pay you back when I have more then.
No rush.
So
Almond takes his 50.
I'm gonna. They all wave goodbye so they can head back to the Pokemon Center to heal up their Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think we should too, right?
Harry is definitely going to.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go with Harry.
All
You
right.
guys are like half dead. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like 3 healthy Pokemon.
By the way, that was the highest difficulty fight.
Oh, nice. So he rolled another 4.
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, but it's not only the Pokemon that's gonna be battling. Let's run. Come on. Hustle.
Harry will jog behind you amicably.
I was half tempted to just like keep fucking with you, Sajochi, and just like keep calling out the numbers you roll, so you think I'm watching you.
Well, y'all can't see it because it don't matter. Even on the stream chat, like I could roll this, and this is the most menacing die you will ever see.
Yeah, but what would you do if I literally called the number every
alright.
single time you
What's
rolled?
the number? What's the number?
17.
Nope.
Okay.
If you would have actually called it, I would have rolled on the TM table and just given you one. Anyways, you guys all head back to. Why is that? Yeah, that's doing it. Yep, it's doing it correctly. You guys all head back to Cherry Grove after having
Why
a
is
nice.
this working correctly?
Yeah, I thought the loop was messed up. After having a nice, intense battle in order to get back to the Pokemon Center and assess your Pokemon's growth. Here we are back in Cherry Grove. So, yeah, I mean, they're beginning trainers. They're not going to have a lot of money. But, because of the levels of the Pokemon that you guys faced, and the fact that it was a trainer battle, so it does get a little bit of a multiplier on the levels, you guys might actually get very close to the cap soon. So... 8 levels to distribute amongst your Pokemon.
And the cap is 12, right?
Cap is 14.
Okay. Okay.
So, and while you guys get your levels distributed, I will get the moves taken care of, and we will take a quick and short break, so that I can order myself some food. So let me get out a timer. What do you guys say? Like a 8-minute break?
Sounds good.
Oh, I gotta put this time in seconds? No, I don't. I can put it in minutes.
Just use another timer.
No, it has it in minutes. Alright, I want this to look like a clock. That way I could also, like, react to chat real quick. So, and start. So, 8-minute break. Go do what you guys need to do. And I will get your guys' Pokemon situated.
Yep.
And you said 8 levels, right?
8 levels to distribute, yep.
Okay.
Alright.
Two.
So Tronup, so far what you thinking? They murdered a shiny Rattata, but it belonged to another person.
It wasn't ours, it's fine.
Yeah, there's also a good chance that I might have to stop abruptly in the middle of the stream to go get my food when it gets here. Feel like a Sammy. Nice little Sammy today.
Salty Sammy.
Mm-hmm. It was good. I'm glad this was an enjoyable experience. You guys just crushed them. Like, you all
Mercilessly, yeah.
just
Well,
no mercy.
Max and Almond did. I think Ryan and Connor need to get some accuracy training in.
might be a good idea, yeah. Oh no, they don't offer the hot Bobby anymore? No.
Last level goes to Centric.
If you guys don't know what a Bobby is, and it may actually give away what my region is. It's a turkey dinner sandwich. So,
Location is Britain.
yeah, sure. You know what? I fooled you guys. I don't actually live in America. I'm from the UK.
He's from British. Yeah, I'll be right back then.
Alright.
OP, I get 2 new moves on Staryu.
Hey!
A recover
Too
and
much
Psywave.
Comcast for that to be true. Thank you, Tronup. So far this is fun. Like, super fun. I'm having fun. And I'm gonna get a bricky. Yeah, why not? Y'all don't know what a brookie is. It's a brownie cookie mashed together.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only new move that either of them get is I think Connor gets wing attack.
Hey, that's good. It's a good priority move.
Is it priority?
Yes. Priority moves means that your Pokemon moves immediately once you tell it to use it.
Wow.
No matter where its turn order is. So that's why you saw the Pokemon using the crazy stuff. So nothing new for Danny. Bidoof is healed up. And then raised to 7. Nothing new for Doofy. Who did he give the levels to? That's gonna bother me. What? Who did you buff next? Who? Oh, it's a Pidgey. Nothing new. Okay. Ventret. Level 6. Nothing new. Okay. So that's all done. Connor has been boosted. Damn, level 12. What?
I only had 2 Pokemon this whole time, so Glameow was already like really high level.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess it does benefit more if you have like less Pokemon, but you know, it's fine. You are.
I mean, we can try to catch more Pokemon later.
That's
today,
true.
maybe.
That's
We have
true.
time.
So you get a beautiful move known as the Quick Attack.
Connor? I think he already had the quick attack.
Oh yeah.
think
Wing
you only need to
Attack.
No, okay, that was what's confusing. I was like, wait, is wing attack a prio move?
Wing
I don't
Attack. You are now terrifying. You are the scariest thing here.
Is it?
It kind of is. It's a stab move.
What is that? As far as I can stab, just adds +2 to the damage roll, is what it seems like.
It increases the damage base.
Oh.
Every
Like-
turn.
I still don't know how damage is calculated in this game. I'm
Uh,
trying to make sense of it when I see the rolls, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
so when it's like, if you have a move that's damage base 1, it's like a D6, I want to say, like a D6 of damage, and then damage base 2 is a D8, and then that's kind of like how it calculates from there.
So is it like, no, I guess I'm going more off like the little placards that come up when we use a move. Like, for instance, Dunsparce used Rollout, and it was a 2 versus 1 to hit.
That's
And
accuracy. That's like
in
the
the
accuracy
damage
roll.
thingy, it says 17, but I'm pretty sure it didn't do 17 damage, right? It like lowered for some reason.
It is minus whatever the target's like defense or special defense is.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's how that's handled. So let's see.
does that
Uh,
pop out automatically for you, or are you just like doing it in your head?
It pops out automatically.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
God.
Okay, that makes more sense then, because I always remember seeing like the damage thing, so it's never the same number. But now that makes sense.
Like, thank the gods that I don't have to like do all of this manually. I would not run this if that was the case.
Yeah, I guess it just doesn't show it to us, so we can't see like what their actual defense is or something like that.
Yeah.
We got metagame.
Alright, this is supposed to be at 0 because it's already done. That is off. Moves for Style. doesn't learn. Wait.
I stole a bag of Cheetos.
Magikarp is at 12. Staryu is at 13. That's legal. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Hey, did you know that Staryu now has recover?
Yeah, and Psywave.
Yeah, did you know that Staryu has Psywave?
Oh, Staryu. For some reason I thought you meant Starly.
All
And
right.
I was like, what the fuck did that bird eat?
All right, so break time is now over. The timer has hit 0, and before we continue, Tronop says it says something about how dependent on caffeine I've been lately, that I'm getting headaches after a single day of cold turkey. Yeah, you're addicted. So just quick thing, 10-15 minutes, my Bobby's gonna get here. And then I'm gonna go grab that, but I'll still be able to run the game while I eat a sandwich. I promise I won't chew on it in the mic. I promise. But after a nice day of battle, and your Pokemon are now much stronger, much stronger. Some of them even learned some new moves. You all are currently at the Pokemon Center. Everybody's healed up. You got all your Pokemon back in tip-top form. So, what would you guys like to do? It's starting to roll around towards night, like the evening.
I don't think we have plans for tonight.
Yeah, we can't do much tonight. We could just do a little training.
Yeah, but the training goes away after a long rest.
Well, not for me.
I mean, level training doesn't go away.
I can train a Pokemon. What's up?
True. I'm down.
I was just gonna change a Pokemon's nature real quick. Just completely change how they feel about the world. Just
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, since you guys are going to take like a little rest / training time, we'll just say it's like training time, because you're gonna go to sleep anyways right after. So Almond, you in place of that, you're going to attempt to change a Pokemon's nature.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll start off with you. Which Pokemon is it gonna be?
Pidgey.
Ooh,
We need a little R&R.
Okay, yep. So this is how we're gonna do this. You need to make a. Oh, how are you approaching Pidgey? How are you gonna try to get on good terms with Pidgey right now? Because you still need to do that.
Let's see. What do they have on me? These are basic Pokemon rations. Is it possible for me to go to the store and like buy them a gift first, or would that be like 2 actions worth of stuff?
That'll be a lot of stuff. It's also getting dark out.
That's true. Okay, so gifts are out of the question. I could try using my Pokemon education to find a way to like, I don't know, like play a game with it somehow.
Okay, so you wanna see if you could come up with a game for you and Pidgey. All right. So how this is gonna work is I have a difficulty based off of its loyalty, and you need to basically overcome that. It's gonna be a little hard, but go ahead. Pokemon education roll.
4d6.
Okay, no, that is more than enough. Okay, so you come up with a type of game for you and Pidgey to play. At first, Pidgey just is kind of like being all standoffish, but it does get curious. Would you mind telling us like what type of game this is?
We're playing a little bit of tug of war with a bit of string that I found.
Okay, so yeah, you find a bit of string. It looks a little bit like a worm. So yeah, it does get Pidgey's attention. It's doing that thing that birds do when they're like looking at something intensely. Its head is like moving this way and that way, and it takes it. Like you two start playing, and I'm just gonna see. All right, since that's happening, I want you to roll Charm. This is going to be a long-term thing. Basically, you're going to have to get over a certain number over a long period of rolls.
Let's see. Oh, it broke again. Hold on a sec. I have to like reopen it every once in a while.
Okay.
So I can look at my stuff. I can use my Pokemon education in place of Charm, since I am doing an interaction with my Pidgey.
Nah, this is something completely different. This is bonding. That's why you gotta do Charm.
Well, I am specifically trying to raise disposition, which is what this skill does.
You know what? You're correct. Okay.
I am being a Pokemon psychologist.
Okay.
Okay. Now, would I roll it with the Pokemon education thing, or just roll 4d6, which is the...
Roll your Pokemon education skill.
Okay.
Another 19
again.
Look at you go. All right. So I'm gonna rely on you to keep track of this. Okay.
Okay.
I'll even make a simple note. You are 19% of the way to winning Pidgey over.
Okay. I wonder if there's like a note thing I can use on here.
Yeah, I'll put it in a little journal entry on my side. I'm just gonna call it Pidgey. Pidgey mad. And I'm gonna just write in here 19%.
It'd be nice if I could like actually put notes into this thing somewhere.
Yeah, there's a module to do that. I couldn't figure out how it worked, so I didn't go with it. But anyways, you're 19% of the way. Unfortunately, you won't be able to change this Pokemon's nature. Pidgey is not receptive yet, but if you keep working at it, hopefully it'll accept whatever you're given. Okay.
Okay.
Max.
I'll just put that on my goals.
Yeah.
You go.
Max, what are you doing?
I'm gonna do some level training by taking the Pokemon to the pier and have them like simulate battles. Even Magikarp now.
Okay. Since your Pokemon are pretty close to hitting the cap anyways, I'm just gonna say you reach the cap.
Yep. Which is 14, right?
Yep.
Perfect.
Already level 14. Wowie.
Alright. Harry, what are you gonna do before you turn in for tonight?
So is bonding something we can do even with Pokemon that already don't mind us?
Bonding is something that you can just do in general. I'm kind of like making an improv system. Even though there's a system in the book, it's too complicated and I don't like it. I like this one better. So.
I mean, they're really close to the cap, so maybe Harry, even though he just said that he didn't need accuracy training, being homies with them is more important.
Yeah, you could definitely attempt to do some bonding then. Are you? So here's how it's gonna rule from now on. So the reason why Almond had to do specifically with Pidgey is because Pidgey does not like Almond. Like we've established, Pidgey does not like Almond. But if you're just doing this with Pokemon that are kind of neutral to you, in terms of their disposition, you can bond with a number of Pokemon equal to your command rank.
I believe that's just at a train. So 2, I think.
Yep.
Oh, that works out then.
So, kind of like with Almond, for each Pokemon, you need to make a charm, and that'll do a certain percentage to the next disposition level.
Okie dokie.
So that's 11% for who?
Is Ryan friendly to me, or is he also neutral?
They're currently all neutral.
I guess Ryan then.
Okay. And then so then Connor is going to be the next one. So, and I'll fix your guys' tokens and stuff later. I got a lot of things I gotta fix. Apparently, you guys own each other's Pokemon honor system.
Is it
Honor
100 or out of 100%?
Yes, it is percentage, so it's out of 100.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in the little notes part, like under their portrait.
Okay. Oh yeah, you guys got a little note section.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
put
if it-
mine in my like trainer's goal sheet because his goal is to win his Pidgey's approval.
I don't know if it's in the PTU thingy on Forge. I'm also just keeping track of. I'm just keeping my Excel sheet one updated as well.
There
Okay.
is one on Forge. It's on extra,
Extra
Yeah.
like the extra in the
Where?
character sheet.
on the character sheet.
Yep, you guys can put whatever you want in there to keep track. Because although I have a lot of stuff to keep track of, it's going to get big. It's going to get big over time.
Well, I'll help you keep track of that.
Okay.
of the suspicious
I also just a little thing with Almond. Since I already like drew his picture, I got really lazy with the physical description and just put Twink the image.
Yeah, that made me smile. Okay, sorry. Let's see if you learned anything at 14. No, you did not. Cool. All right. So we didn't need to do any of that. So yeah, Max comes in. He's soaking wet. He smells like the ocean, which I guess isn't a bad smell. He sees Almond playing with Pidgey, which looks like it's some good progress. And he looks over at Harry. Harry, what were you doing specifically to bond with your Pokemon?
I'm assuming that he would just like groom them and be like just chatting with them, just
Yeah.
looking like a wacko in the corner.
Yeah, you got like a delicate hand brush for Ryan's fur, and you have like a specialized comb in the kit that's for avian Pokemon. So you kind of like go between them, comb out like the dirt and debris from the earlier battle that was missed, and make them look shiny. So yeah, Max, you're seeing this whole thing play out inside of the room that you guys have reserved at the center right now.
And you see like Pidgey just like starting to do that thing birds do with like tug of war, and they like try to pull it with their like claws, but then they just like slide and they.
Well, seems like everybody's got a productive evening.
Yeah, we're training our friendships.
Friendship will also improve over time. I'll let you guys know if there's just a natural increase as well. So.
Yeah,
But,
it's just like,
yeah.
I need my Pidgey to not hate me.
All right. So you guys turn in for the night. It gets, very peaceful night. However, when you wake up the next day, and I could actually do this, and this is really fun. Where are you? PTU setting. It's currently raining outside.
Oh, perfect.
So it's not like a huge storm. It's more like light rain, not a drizzle. A little bit after that. just a little bit after that. And I actually do have the weather set to rain. There's no effect for it, but I have it set in the back end. So if you guys do get in the Pokemon battle, water type moves are stronger.
Exactly what I need.
So-
Anyway, I'll wake them up at 6 a.m.
Good morning, Max.
Morning! Rise and shine, Almond! It's raining, so it's super refreshing outside. Come on.
But the opposite.
Alright,
The
so
plan for today.
who is joining me for the fishing competition?
I'm good.
I think I might come with you to watch and maybe just see if there's any Pokemon I make friends with, like along the shore. But I don't think I'll actually participate in the competition.
Alright.
Alright, so this
Well-
is going to be a max solo competition. Okay. And you two are just going to provide moral support. Almond, you
I've
realize...
got survival level 1. I'm not gonna.
Actually, it's not a survival check at all, but... Alright. Let me get those fishing rules out, because there's a whole thing, and this is going to be fun!
Oh, I'll pay. Sorry, I'll pay my money in now. 150, right?
Yep. So you guys make your way back down over to the shop, which is just opening up. You see Fisher Sam just kind of like... He unlocks the door, he gets in there, and sees you all enter. He's like, I guess you all had a very good time yesterday.
Yes, but now your fishing champion is here. I'll put the money on his counter.
Okay, and then he hands you one of the forms, and he says, "Go ahead and fill that out, and then I'll give you the rundown on how the contest works."
Yes.
So you go off onto the side. Harry and Almond. What is Max's penmanship?
It's nothing special. It's nothing, not bad, not great.
Not bad, not great. Okay. All right, Harry, Almond. You see him writing on this. Judging from the description that he just gave, I'm gonna do a DM modifier roll. Tell you if it's really good or really bad. You guys cannot read the name that he wrote, or anything on the form.
To protect my identity.
He just has a unique writing style.
Did you just put MX for Max?
Yeah, that's the cool way to write it.
I mean, sure.
Okay. All right. So after you finish filling out the form, I got the fishing rules up. You are told. You are given an old rod, and you are given 3 uses of bait. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he also is going to hand you 5 more basic balls.
All right.
So, he just says, "Go ahead and keep those Pokeballs if you want. I do not need them. They are not a big seller. But rules are simple. You have until sundown to capture a Pokemon using that rod and using bait. It has to come from the ocean." And he kind of like pulls out a list that he hands you. He's like, "These are Pokemon that do appear in the waters here. Like, in the waters. It has to be on this list. And it can't be a Pokemon you already have."
Damn it.
But, yeah, because you do see Staryu on there. In fact, like, on the form, you do see that you have to fill out current Pokemon that you have. So. Yeah, he could read your handwriting. But he says you have until sundown to catch one Pokemon. You bring it back here. I give it a look over and I give it a score. Then, after everybody's done, tomorrow I contact you. If you win, you come back and you pick up your prize. You will have to return the old rod and whatever bait you did not use.
All right.
Oh, have fun.
Catch the
Happy
perfect
fishing.
Fish Pokemon.
I immediately go out.
Okay. So, it's still raining. Perfect day to catch fish,
Perfect.
actually. You know?
That's
So,
just Gyarados.
how this
Yeah.
works is one use of bait gives you 3 chances to catch a fish Pokemon. You roll a flat d20, no skill modifiers whatsoever. And if you roll a 15 or higher, you hook something.
Yes.
All right. Then, if in order to pull it out of the water, you have to roll an athletics check in order to bring it out for you to attempt to catch it.
Okay.
And you can have a Pokemon at the ready to help you catch that Pokemon as well in case you need to weaken it.
Yes.
All right, so you got 3 pieces of bait, so that's 9 attempts.
All right.
Oh, let's go ahead. You set up. Actually, my food is going to be here in like 1 to 3 minutes. So I hate to put up another timer, so I'm gonna actually. I'm gonna put this one for like. Yeah, I'm gonna put this up for 5 minutes, and then we'll get to this fishing competition after 5 minutes. Okay, guys?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I will be right back. If you guys want to talk amongst yourselves while I go down and get my food, go right ahead.
Yeah. I imagine I've sent out like Dunsparce at one point, and he's just moisturized, unperturbed in his element.
Void of any thoughts. Perfect. I'm using Staryu as an umbrella. It just floats above my head.
Yes.
Can I just say that I was checking like Magikarp and Evolution, and Gyarados does not have fly speed.
He does fly in Arceus, right? I guess not in regular. I never imagined Gyarados flying, honestly.
He does canonically fly.
Which is like really weird. But he is flying type.
Yep.
Like in the latest, like in the Arceus game, he literally flies out of. He flies around in a circle in front of the waterfall.
No fly speed though.
0 fly
Also,
speed.
naturally does not learn any flying moves.
He doesn't learn bounce.
He has ambitions, but he needs a pilot's license to it.
You'd think that Magikarp would learn bounce, but apparently not.
That'd be
He
sick.
only learned tackle.
Tackle and flail, but flail is level 30, which is useless to get to.
It's
Yeah,
also
they
a normal
took,
type move.
they took bounce out of his move pool in BDSP. I swear he used to naturally learn bounce. I mean, but I don't know why you don't want to use bounce, but you know,
Well, it's like the one flying type move.
it's like a 90% accuracy. Ugh, God.
It's better than Splash.
Slash
That would be the
Slash
ultimate
is doing
flex,
work though.
Yeah, it's doing work for enemies. When I'm gonna use it, I'm just gonna get like destroyed.
no.
Well, remember how it took you like 3 turns to try
Yes,
to
I
get it and you
remember.
didn't?
Had to make
You
sure I
could do
had
the
some
same
water.
thing if Starmie. Yeah, if Starmie's ever in danger, you could just switch in Magikarp and have him splash. They won't know what to do.
I mean, yeah, switching a Staryu to a Magikarp is a really weird move. Probably would confuse them indeed.
Also, Magikarp has struggled, but yes, I am back. I have my Bobby, and I am going to enjoy this while we do a nice little fishing competition. And I know, Harry, you wanted to go and see if you could befriend some Pokemon on the side, but we'll get to you in a moment.
Oh yeah,
This,
that's fine.
this
I
is,
don't mind.
yeah, because this is going to be a little intense. Anyways, Max begins. He puts some bait on the end of the old rod and dips it, sends it out into the water, like into the deepest part that he can.
Yes.
Don't mind the crumpling of paper. That is just my sandwich. So go ahead, roll a d20.
Whoops.
Not so far, no bite. All right,
I'm a patient man.
15 minutes pass, nothing. Go ahead, roll your second d20.
God damn it.
Another 15 minutes pass. Nothing's happening. Although you did
got
feel
this, Max.
you did feel like a tiny tug on the line, but doesn't feel like you hooked it. Go ahead, roll the third d20.
It's my last
Can
use
we
of
cheer
bait.
for him?
Damn it. 3, 4, 5. I'm going up there, guys. I'm going up there.
Yeah, you look like
Can we
you're
try
getting
to, like,
better by the
cheer for
second.
Another
Yeah.
another 15 minutes pass. You're just like, man, it's been a while. So you decide to just kind of like reel in, check to see if like maybe that tug you felt earlier was something, and whatever it was just was lazy. The bait is gone.
Yeah, I'm switching spots to something new to try and refresh myself.
All right. So there's a beach and there's there's the dock.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to a different spot in the dock, like try to go as far into the ocean, sea? Is it the sea
Okay.
or ocean?
It's both.
Ocean. I'm gonna go there.
So yeah, you go on one of the longer docks. You see other fish, like other people fishing here for the contest. You see some people who look like expert fishermen, and you think, okay, you know what? This is a good spot. If everybody's over here, that means they're looking for Pokemon.
Yep. This is my time.
So you put your second piece of bait, and you cast your line. All right, go ahead. Roll your first d20.
Oh, God. All right.
Tiny little tug. Doesn't feel like anything got hooked. All right, for your second.
I got. I swear I'll break this rod.
The 1,000 Pokey.
Okay,
Oh damn it! No, I can't afford it. All right.
go ahead. Do the third.
Nope.
You
This
pull.
bait is defective.
You reel in. The bait just looks too soggy to use. It's completely unusable now.
Okay, now we're entering angry fishing mode.
Mad fishing. All right.
It's no longer peaceful. I just like throw the line as far as I can, like using my angry strength with the last bait.
You see it go really, really far. All right. Roll that first d20, King.
One day I'll roll above 15.
You're holding it. You are holding on. You sense the movement on the line. Roll the second
Oh.
d20.
Is it? It's just waves.
Was that a tug? Nope.
Nope.
Just the waves. Your last
Ugh.
d20.
Come on, fishing gods.
Bang! And then, just as you're about to give up, you feel an intense pull on the rod,
I got it.
and the reel is starting to spin. You start pulling back. Go ahead, roll that athletics.
Come
Oh,
on, you can do it.
I don't know if I can. The game hates me today.
You pull really, really hard. And out of the water pops a Corsola.
I want it. Oh, by the way, you weren't here when I said I'm using Staryu as an umbrella. It floats above my head, so I'm using it to attack immediately.
Yeah, bring Staryu out.
Staryu.
Staryu, Star me, Star him.
I don't know if you're doing it in initiative.
Yeah, we can.
Sure.
But yeah, Staryu is at the top.
All right. I will Staryu. Use Psy Beam. No, Psy Wave.
Hyper beam.
All right. That is a hit. So,
Right. So now I roll a d4, right?
yep.
So it loses
1.5 times it uses level, which is 14.
21.
Yep, you deal 21 damage to the
No
Corsola,
resists.
which looks pretty hurt. You want to attempt to catch it before its turn comes up?
Yes. I will do that. So I'm selecting myself, selecting
Mhm.
Corsola, Pokeballs, Pokeball.
You capture the Corsola.
Oh.
We captured the Corsola.
No! Get your hands off my Pokeballs!
All right. But you caught a Corsola.
Excellent. That's the only thing I can do with this fishing competition anyway, so I'm gonna go and give it to the ranked.
All right. Seeing as it took a couple hours to get to this point, you go into the shop. You are drenched from the rain. You look a little mad. Do you how angrily do you put the old rod on the counter?
Well, okay, I need to be careful with the rod. But then I slap the Pokeball down on the desk.
Oh,
You smashed it and released the
Corsola.
Pokemon.
so yeah, you put it there. You let Corsola come out on the counter. It rocks back and forth because it's a Corsola and it's a rock. And he's giving it a quick look over, and by he, I mean I, because I don't even know what moves you got. Oh no!
Oh, nice! Oh my god!
Hyper beam.
But he goes, you know, there's an old tale about Corsola.
Oh.
I don't remember it. But this
Thanks,
one's a
old man.
fine
Let me
fine
tell you a
Pokemon.
tale. The end.
This is a fine Pokemon that you've captured. So, let's see. Docile, huh? Huh. Very gentle-minded. Wonder what kind of moves it can use. And he kind of like holds up a paper, and then Corsola unleashes a bubble beam at the paper.
Yes.
Okay. Pretty good. And he's just giving a look at his just overall health. And just says, yep. Pretty standard Corsola. I'm going to give it... 70 points.
Solid.
So now I just need on that same fishing roll table to see if you win. I'm just gonna roll a bunch of Pokemon, and if they are not cooler than Corsola, you win.
Whoa.
I mean,
I just
to be
noticed
fair,
something.
Corsola is a pretty cool Pokemon.
What you notice?
I opened Corsola, right, and its weaknesses. It has 2 times weakness to nuclear Pokemon, apparently.
That's from Pokemon Uranium. Don't worry about that. All your Pokemon have that.
Every Pokemon is weak to nuclear reactions.
All right, I'm gonna say about 5 more people.
I'll be right back. Just one second.
Okay, so you'll know if you win tomorrow.
Yes. Perfect.
Alrighty, Harry, you said you were gonna attempt to befriend a Pokemon on the beach.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me a perception.
Oh boy.
There's too much rain. It's really, really hard to see if anything is really hanging out on the beach. In fact, it's kind of bothersome.
Well.
So. But. I'll say that puts you in range for something to show up.
Coolio.
And.
Sorry, I had to take care of my cat.
I'm just gonna re-roll this because that's. I'm gonna do one more. One more. Okay, that's better. Guess how many magic cards popped up?
Just... well, probably 3.
Harry, as you're walking down the beach and it's starting to rain, and you're feeling like, you know what, maybe it's a good idea to start heading back. You see, just kind of like walking on the sand, kind of enjoying the water. It's a Psyduck.
Aw.
Duh.
So. And
What do you do?
yeah, what do you do?
Well, I guess Harry would just walk up to it and join it in the water. I'm assuming it's like not in the water, it's like having its feet in it or something.
It's by the edge of the water, yeah.
Yeah, I guess he'll just walk up to it and like ask it if he can give it a little pat. Like, oh, you're so cute. Can I give you a little pet?
The Psyduck sees you approaching, and you know it. Like as soon as you ask that question, it almost like immediately like lets you pet its head. It seems to be
Aw.
very like down to do anything, at least from what its disposition is. But almost like how would you say? Almost like it'll do something without really thinking about it.
Brain.
Well, you seem like a very friendly little guy. Do you want to come adventure with me? I guess, are they out? Maybe they're out. Hanging out in the rain. Do you want to come adventure with us? Me, Ryan, and Connor? You look like a cool and friendly guy, Psyduck.
Let's see.
Cool dude.
Go ahead and roll me that charm.
Okay.
All right. Now roll me a D100.
Alright.
I finally figured out a good system.
Oh no.
Actually, you passed.
Oh. Is low good?
Yep.
Oh. Perfect for me then.
Yeah. Almost without really thinking about it, the Psyduck just gives you an enthusiastic nod of the head.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I just like pulled out a
The
ball
one
to it.
time that rolling low was an advantage. Was
I know. That's perfect for me then. I always roll low.
On D100s, I use lower rolls, like, for a difficulty modifier. Basically, what I did was I rolled a D100 to see initial, like, chance. You add your charm to that, and then you have to roll within whatever's left over. So
Okay.
that's how I determine it. So if you want the actual numbers, I'll even show you, like, reveal. And so 61 plus 12 is 73. And then that's 27. So you had to roll a 27 or lower without hitting a nat 1.
Oh my.
Yep.
So he was like, it was kind of hard actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm happy then. I'm happy Psyduck is willing to join us.
Yep. So I will go ahead and throw this Psyduck into your...
Did Max get to keep Corsola?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Is it under... Ah, they're all under here. Okay. So... Configure perms. Austin is the owner. I don't know why that defaults to Almond when I do that, but...
I wonder why.
Your Pokemon? No, our Pokemon.
Our Pokemon.
And
I
it
just noticed the
shows
camera
you...
just suddenly pans to me.
So this is a female Psyduck, and the reason why, and when you pull up its data, like its actual Pokemon data, you realize why it's just down for anything without thinking. It's rash.
Oh.
It's made of rashes.
So, yeah, you got a Psyduck.
Yay.
Almond, what were you doing?
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
I guess playing with Pidgey in the rain.
Pidgey doesn't like being in the rain.
Well, shit. Do I have a Pokemon I can train? These things are in this.
I would say just for like the sake of simplicity, let's not count this as a training session, because the whole competition was supposed to be like a whole thing, you know?
That's true.
So.
I'm just vibing with Danny.
Vibing with Danny as you watch Max get his score, which was what, 70 points?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you guys want to
Danny is a serpent. He's a lizard. He likes rain.
Okay, so I'm guessing you guys want to just like roll up to the evening. You guys want to fast forward to see if Max won?
Yeah.
I think so. I think because tomorrow we would leave anyway, right? To see Mr. P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we've kind of got sidetracked again.
No, that's perfect. That is perfectly fine. That's exactly what I want to happen, actually.
Fishy
It's-
though.
So, the next morning, everybody wakes up. Max, are you like staring at your Pokedex, seeing if you get a call?
No, I'm there. I'm on the pier already.
You're already there on the pier.
Sun up.
Here. Just looking out triumphantly that you caught one Pokemon.
You see Fisher Sam coming up to open up the shop for today, and he sees it, he goes, just the person I wanted to see.
Yeah.
You lost. Lol.
Damn it.
He says, you tied with another fisherman. So
Who is he?
I was going to call him in later, but he had a clam pearl.
Ooh.
So, and I couldn't really choose between either of them, so I decided you're both the winner. So come on in. I'll give you a set of 5 lure balls and a share of the prize money.
It's prize money?
Yeah, didn't the bulletin? Did they forget to
Oh.
put that on the bulletin?
I just remember lure balls. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I don't think there was any money on there.
I mean, yes, of course there was money. Of course, let's go and get my winnings.
Yes, that's why I edited it. Let's go.
So yeah, he he gives you 5 lure balls, which I'm gonna
Nice.
put in your inventory right now.
They just appeared.
And then he hands you it's a 50-50 split, so he hands you 1,000 Poke.
Wow.
He's fucking rich.
And then he looks you up and down and just says, you know what, because it was very impressive watching you bring in that Corsola. He didn't watch you, but like he said, since that Corsola was pretty impressive, I've decided to let you also have that old rod that you used yesterday. I kept it on the side.
Yay.
Yes. Out of game, I was about to buy it. Perfect. I
Yeah,
attached
it's
it
just
to
like-
my backpack.
Yeah, it's like, 1,000 Poke exactly, you say.
How convenient.
But but I'm not going to provide you with any bait. That you'll have to buy. And that one is 250 apiece.
Oh my god.
Fine. I'll buy 2
Oh,
pieces of bait.
You're buying 2 pieces of bait?
Yeah.
He is the water type trainer. That is his thing.
500 gone.
Max's
Gone,
character
but not
token has
forgotten.
disappeared.
I'm dead. I died during the
There you
war.
are.
He went back into the ocean. He was satisfied.
He got
I
better.
devolved. Alright. Perfect. Well, you know, it was a pleasure to show how awesome I am.
Why is this not letting me? Okay, here we go.
And
Did he die again?
Yes.
He did.
You just killed him. You killed him again.
He keeps blinking in and
Just
out of
clones.
existence.
He's so happy that he just ceased to be.
And
How cute.
I hope that you can impass my wisdom to the future generation of fishermen. And yeah, I'll
You
be
tied
taking
in
my leave
first
now.
place.
Was that weird voice?
Your confidence.
There's none. Thanks, and well, I guess I might pop in every now and then to buy bait, but for now, take care.
He says, "You too," and then as you're leaving, you just kind of hear, "What a weird guy."
And I saunter off like,
Yeah, he is just like fucking standing outside of his fucking shop, 5 in the morning.
Then I run into our room and just like, wake up, everybody, rise and shine. I think Corsola needs to be healed.
I already did that. You're good.
Perfect.
Oh man, this is gonna be a fun time. So, anyways, so yeah, it's a new day. Max is probably feeling pretty good because he got a free fishing rod, some lure balls, and even got some prize money.
Yes.
That he
I'm-
immediately used for bait.
You can see my pouches, my backpack being more full. My wallet's just huge.
And the fishing rod just sticking out the side.
Yep.
Oh, did you win, Max?
Was there any doubt?
Of course not.
Oh,
Why the
awesome! So you
question?
got first place?
Yes,
Awesome.
just me.
Of course.
Well, yeah.
Why would it be anything else?
Only one guy can be first place, right?
Definitely. Anyway, what do you think of today then? What should we do?
Well, since you're done with your fishing competition, and since you got prize money and we'll be okay for a couple of days, I'd say we can go up to Mr. Pokemon. See
Oh, yeah.
see what he has to say to us.
I'm down.
Sure.
Because I mean, we got a bunch of Pokemon now between us. But I think we need to get Harry a third Pokemon on the way there.
I have a third Pokemon. It's Samuel.
You do?
Yeah. Remember we became friends by Harry awkwardly talking to it on the beach.
I was at the beach too. I think I was just vibing out too hard with
Yeah.
Danny.
Oh, by the way, is any of you low on Pokeballs?
I have 8.
Well, I have 7.
Okay, well, I have 12. If
You
you
can
all
save
ever...
your net balls for your allure balls for your water friends.
Yes, and so if you ever run low, let me know. We can share.
You're such a kind person, Vance.
All he cares about is the lure balls.
Yes.
All he cared about was the rod, the lure balls, and the Pokemon.
Everything else is a bonus. Yes, I am pretty kind. Yes, keep talking. Anyway.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping track of the food.
Oh, true.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Is it 1 Pokemon ration for all the Pokemon per day, or is it 1 per guy?
One for all. I'm not gonna make y'all go through that hell.
Okay, so it went through 2 days since this
Mhm.
session?
Yep.
Okay.
And 2 days for our rations as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I need to restock at least.
Yeah, I'm down to 1.
Yep.
On human food.
Harry's like, do I really need to eat?
We do need to eat.
Yes. You
Maybe I
need
can
those, Harry.
photosynthesize.
No.
You are not a plant, Harry. We've
I'm a
been
plant type Pokemon.
We're gonna
Well,
be fine, don't worry about it.
Well,
If
it's a
you
good
don't
thing,
eat, you'll be joining the grass, Harry.
Yes. What was the prices for food? Poke food versus human food?
Human food is 75 for a pack of 5. Like travel rations. Each one has their own like specific name, but for the most part, it's just like meals that are good for traveling.
Right.
And a Pokemon food is 50. For a bag of 7 days, like a 7-day bag.
Oh.
Hmm.
So we had way more than I thought. So when I have 1 ration, that lasts me 5 days, right?
No. A
I
pack of
think it's
rations.
like 5 packs of ration, 5 rations in a 1 pack. 1 per day, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, got it. I will buy.
Maths.
Well, Max, if we do need to eat, Can I increase my debt to you?
Of
I
course.
only have enough for the Pokemon.
If you cover your Pokemon, that's fine. I'll cover humans.
Thank you. I owe you 150 Pokedollars.
I will buy. Was 50 per Poke food, right?
Yep, for a 7-day supply.
Right, I have.
I'm gonna buy
Is
2
it-
of those.
Is it 7 for the Pokemon pack and 5 for the human pack, you said?
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll minus that.
That's 6.
That's like 120 total, right?
125.
125. Okay, sorry.
Can you guys just
missed it.
confirm what we were at, like, at first? I think
So-
we got, like, less... Like, I think we got less, like, rations at Bruce's berries.
Yeah.
Or... Okay.
No. Human food was because it's made with like different ingredients than what goes in Pokemon food.
Uh-huh.
You know, because humans won't eat. Well, humans have finer palates than a Pokemon does.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to buy an extra thing of rations since these don't expire. Just in case if he forgets to buy himself food.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm just gonna hope my records were correct then.
So-
I'm gonna give you
So I
3
have-
human rations for now. I'm gonna buy myself a new 3.
Oh, so you're buying 50.
So I have 11
Yes.
in total.
You're getting
Human,
Harry 3 as well.
10 for Pokemon.
Yes.
Oh my god, no, the debt.
Don't worry about that.
No, Dad. We're swimming in it.
Crippling debt.
I max when he's swimming, except I'm swimming in debt.
Oh no, this is the age group.
But yeah, as you're shopping for like the food, Max, you're actually like you're in the Cherry Grove Pokemon Center, which also has the little mart. And you pick up the boxes, and this one just says travel bento, and the ingredients on these are like dried pork, mixed nuts and berries, and a type of sweet bread that's supposed to like last a while.
Perfect. Cool. Well, I'm all
Just
done.
don't think too hard about where the pork came from and we'll be fine.
Nondescript animals. Let's go.
Nondescript pig.
So
Okay.
all right.
So that was an action, right?
For the shopping, I was gonna say it's just a real quick thing. So, because you're right in the same location.
Okay. So we will travel now, right?
Yes.
They're gonna have to travel over to Mr. Pokemon.
Yep.
All right, so that is going to take up just 2 actions, so you'll have 1 left when you after you get there.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Now I don't have a picture of Mr. Pokemon, so again, today is a lot of theater to mine because I was working on a whole bunch of other things. If anybody hasn't noticed, we're
Yeah.
super simplified today.
Not a
That's
problem.
fine.
All right.
I was just going to suggest using Chobin again.
No.
For no reason. Chobin is every NPC.
No.
Don't tempt me.
This is the worst timeline.
Dr. Kamiko's latest invention, the cloning machine.
Okay, so you guys are beginning your travel. Yeah, nice and peaceful. So, well, you
As we're
follow.
going there. So does okay, we were told to do the gym challenge or not?
No, you weren't told about the gym challenge yet.
Okay. Then nothing.
Maybe
I travel
Mr.
in silence.
Pokemon will tell us.
Well, you guys know that you're gonna take on the gym challenge eventually. Aspen gave you this first task just to like more or less to test out his Pokedex expansion, like his module. So it's a win-win for everyone. But yeah, you guys head up the road, which is pretty peaceful. Okay. In the morning, not a lot of things out. You do like see some rustling of like in the bushes, probably some Pokemon that are just like staying hidden or frolicking some which way, whatever. But starting to get closer to the afternoon, and I'm just gonna roll this again because it's basically one roll per like action taken when traveling.
Can take anywhere between 10 seconds and 2 hours.
Yeah. You guys come across a injured Starly. Looks like it's beaten up pretty bad, actually.
I have a couple extra potions on me.
Can we treat it with like medical or what is like a skill in medicine
You can, yeah.
with medicine education? Well,
Yeah.
I guess Harry would try that.
Yep, you
So
go
that
to the...
poor Almond doesn't have to waste a potion. Not waste a potion, use a potion.
Okay, so yeah, Harry, you having that Nurse Joy blood in your veins immediately springs to action when you see this injured Pokemon, and go right up to it. It's a little nervous, but it can't really move that far. You notice that its leg is looking pretty bruised up, and one of its wings is a little crooked.
Well, I'll tell it that to not worry because I'm just trying to help it. But am I rolling medicine?
First roll charm.
Cool, okay.
I'll say that does it. Yeah, you managed to calm it down enough to apply whatever medical attention that you need. You're free to use a potion, or if you have a kit that allows you to heal a Pokemon, like a first aid kit, you could try to use that.
Oh, I don't believe I do. So.
I'd say I'm probably nearby when this is happening, since we're all walking the same path.
Yeah, and I will
can
keep
use
an
my
eye.
potion if you
Yeah.
don't want to use yours out.
I'll keep an eye out to make sure that whatever injured the Pokemon does not eat Harry or Almond.
Yeah, sure. I guess I'll just use my last potion.
If it couldn't eat a Starly, I'm pretty sure it can't eat us.
Okay, so you're gonna use your potion on it. So
Yeah.
go ahead and subtract the potion, and I'll put the 20 health.
I can just set it to 0 right now. Right? Will that
Yep.
will that mess up the thing? Okay.
Nope, it won't. It'll just say like you don't have this.
Gotcha. Just in case Harry ever gets money again, he can actually afford a potion.
Oh no, don't worry. Gym battles are lucrative. So, yeah, you sprayed a potion on. You also apply a little bit of medical techniques to try to like straighten out the wing a little bit, and fashion like you using a stick and a couple of like leaves, using the stickiness of the potion, you create a little bit of a splint for its wings. The leg, you determine it'll heal on its own. The potion's going to help the healing process. So, but yeah, it looks like it's feeling a little better and chirps happily, and then just starts hopping away.
Bye, Starly. Hope you feel better.
Yep. Literally, there's a roll that's just says Pokemon in need. So.
Well, it's a good thing we have a Nurse Joy with us.
But
Oh,
so you guys continue your journey, and you finally reach your destination. After taking a fork in the road towards the right and going past some trees and some tall grass, you see a house. It's kind of in the middle of this forest. It's a pretty big house too. It's got like high walls all around it. You know, like if I were to draw with just boxes, okay. Like, here's this big house, all right, and then here is the yard. Just a big yard. You see some like.
Here's the preacher, here's the choir.
You see some topiary in different Pokemon shapes. One of the really, really big one is a Snorlax. It's a bush in the shape of a Snorlax, of a topiary means. So, but you approach this house, and whoever is grabbing the doorknob notices that it is very unlocked. And you guys are on Route 30 now, so let's change you over to... Boom. Got to do that. Sometimes the music, it just kind of like blends in to everything, and you just don't realize that it's on.
I give the door a tentative little knock.
Yep. You go to give it a little knock. And you just hear someone say, "Be there in 1 minute," from the other side. And then when the door opens, this very tall, just tall and lanky man in what looks to be like a butler outfit just says, "Are you here to see Master Pokemon?"
Yeah,
Sure.
Sure. We were sent by Professor... What was his name?
Aspen?
Professor Aspen. I think he meant to ping Mr. Pokemon about our arrival.
I
Yes.
think you're like delivering a letter or something, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I have a...
Oh yeah, we have that.
Yes, the master was expecting you. Right this way. He leads you inside the house. This is a very tall butler, by the way. Like, he happens to look like two people in a trench coat in a butler outfit.
Oh my god, he's the ancient king.
But no, he leads you to a study where you see a stout old man sitting in a chair, reading through an encyclopedia of some kind. He looks up and closes. He's like, "Ah, you're the young men that Aspen was sending. Come in, have a seat,
Wow, love the enthusiasm. I'll sit down.
Yeah. And then he just goes, "Ricardo, bring these fine gentlemen a refreshing drink. What would you guys like? I have anything and everything under the sun."
Mango berry juice?
That sounds delightful.
Max was about to ask for a protein shake, but then he's gonna change the juice as well.
Just water is fine. Thank you very much.
And then Mr. Pokemon in front of you just says, "You know what? Mango berry juice sounds really good. Bring me a nice tall glass as well." And then you see Ricardo the butler like bow and just like walk out to go get you guys your drinks.
Is mango berry a berry? Just realized.
Sure. let's say. So,
Oh yeah, it's Mago. I forget.
yeah. He goes, "So tell me, So tell me, how has your journey been? I do like to hear about young trainers and what they're up to. What have you been doing so far?
Kicking ass and capturing Pokemon.
That's pretty much, yeah. He won a fishing contest, got first place.
Yes, first place, just me.
Only me, just me.
Huh, that's very interesting. Because I also won first place at that fishing competition. And he pulls out a
maybe the-
Pokeball and drops a clam pearl. And it's a shiny clam pearl.
Huh.
Wait, but I thought Max won.
Ooh.
The owner
Remember
of the owner of the shop said that I was tied with somebody. But I didn't really need the prize money, so I just purchased an old rod for another young man that happened to be at the shop.
Wow, that shopkeeper's good. Well, anyway, here's a letter we have for you.
Oh, yes, the letter that Aspen wanted me to read. And he takes it from you, opens up the envelope, and you see that it was actually like a couple of documents. One is a handwritten letter. The same type of parchment that you guys all got from your invitation from Aspen. But there's also a couple of other things that are in there. There seems to be what looks like photographs. Which, you know, Mr. Pokemon is just kind of like looking over. And finally, like, a small gold... I would say it looks like a card. A small gold card. So...
Is there anything on the card, or is it literally just a gold square?
To you, it looks like a gold square. You can't see what's on the front of it because right now he's looking at it. Ricardo does come in with the drinks and places them on the table. Mr. Pokemon is just like mouthing to himself what the letter reads, and he looks at the pictures. And then finally he just goes, "Ah, so it seems like one of the other prospects that Aspen is in contact with discovered a potentially rare Pokemon. Ah." And he
what
just...
Pokemon is it?
Oh, where are my manners? You know what? This would actually be very, very fun to see. And he just goes... Is there a way I can send this to you guys in the chat?
Some
All right.
Pokemon pics.
You know what? It'll be it's gonna be a blurry image, so it doesn't matter. So he shows it to you, and he's like, right here. It seems to be a Pokemon that is bipedal in nature, but look at this, and he points to the other photo. Its legs seem to disappear, and then it floats. Very hard to tell. And then at the top of the profile, like, the whole thing is black, except for, like, a red spot, and what appears to be, like, something white. Something flowing in white coming from what you can only assume to be the neck. So.
You see Almond go a little bit pale.
Almond, if you really want, you can do a Pokemon education check. This is actually going to be a pretty tough one to figure out.
You might be able to tell what type it is. But yeah, Ah, dang it.
Just from the photo alone, it's really hard to tell what kind of Pokemon it may be. In fact, you're not really sure what it is based on the journals that you did manage to read. You can kind of guess that it might be a ghost type, judging from the fact that it floats around. But that's all you can really gauge.
Neat. Yes.
Yes,
We all
yes.
need better cameras.
Looking at the camera.
Well, according to the letter, when the trainer that attempted to snap this photo said that the camera was malfunctioning the entire time. Otherwise, they usually send higher resolution pictures. So whatever this Pokemon is does not want to be seen. Curious. And then he looks at the card and he goes, "Oh, and he sent me another one of these cards from my collection." And he flips it around and it's got a carving of what you can only assume to be a Ho-Oh on it.
Mm.
He says, "Do you know about these cards?"
No idea,
Oh,
no.
we have one of those. I think Harry will pull out the Mew card.
Oh, I forgot we had that.
Yep. And Mr. Pokemon just goes, "Astounding! There's only 4 of those in the world. How did you get this one?"
Well,
Oh,
it's a weird Pokemon gave it to us. Like, when we first met each other, we got transported somewhere. There's this
Yeah.
weird cat.
Are you
Kind
saying
of abducted
and-
by letters.
I think I remember scanning with my Pokedex. I just kind of show him the blank entry with the picture on it.
he just like jumps back when he takes a look at the entry and he goes, "You're telling me that you saw the mythical Pokemon Mew?"
Is that what it's
That's
called?
a cute name.
And this Mew had one of these cards. I'm very happy that I met you all. Just to let you know what these cards are. An unknown artist, some years ago, made these cards out of various materials, each one with a carving of a specific Pokemon. And depending on what he was feeling at the time, he would carve them all in a different way, but he would always be able to tell exactly which Pokemon is on it. That Mew carving is off of a very specific tree, as you can see from its pinkish hue. And only 4 of those have been made, or at least known to have been made. I currently have one in my possession. Professor Oak, I believe, has another one. And a 3rd one is currently at the museum over in Pewter City. But nobody has ever found the 4th.
Oh, well, looks like we better take good care of this one. Do these cards do anything special?
No, as far as I'm concerned, they're just trinkets, but I do like them. Oh. And of course, I've been looking for a gold Ho-Oh. I do have a silver Lugia. So this would complete the set that I have.
Oh, he's hinting so hard.
Oh,
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint.
No, he says that the Ho-Oh that he just got from Aspen completed his set.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like completed the set that he has. Now I do like showing off my collection, but I believe I might be taking up too much of your time. Probably have a long journey to go to. But if I may impose something upon you,
Go on.
he goes up over to a cabinet, opens it up, and turns around very carefully and walks towards you. And inside of a glass container is a very big egg. He just says, "Yeah, I know. I'm ripping it from the game."
No,
But-
that's just Max's natural reaction.
Yeah. Now, it's up to you whether or not you want to do this, or if you want to continue with your regular journey. But I have a friend over have a friend over in Violet City who gave me this egg. And I honestly don't know what Pokemon could be inside of it. So I figured, who better to talk to than Elm? Unfortunately, Elm moved. So the next best thing that I can go with is Aspen. And unfortunately, I can't transport this egg through normal means. So, if you three would be so kind as to make your way back to New Barktown and take this egg, I'm sure Aspen would be able to reward you handsomely. If not, I can try to get a delivery person. I probably should have done that in the beginning. He's just kind of pondering to himself.
I just look to Harry because it seems like a natural person to take care of an egg if anyone is.
I mean, if we don't mind going back, I'd be okay with it, but it's up to you two. Or I guess we should make a group decision.
Shrugs. I don't think we have any plans to move like forward. Or any reason to move forward. No, for now at least. We could go back, I guess.
Almond begrudgingly agrees to go back to Duke.
We'll make it really fast, Almond. We'll hide from your parents.
Oh, really fast? Okay, I got it.
Oh, hold on. Here's what I'll do for you guys, so that it doesn't feel completely forced. I'm gonna roll a d2, okay? And depending on what comes up, either a Deus Ex Machina will happen, or you guys are agreeing to this quest. Okay?
Go for it.
Deus Ex Machina. All of your Pokedexes ring.
Oh no. Hello?
Yep, you open it up, and it's Aspen. And he said, "Yep." And he's very, very close to the monitor right now, and he just goes, felt like calling because I just got your last data. Good job getting the water Pokemon. Wait, are you at Mr. Pokemon's?
Yes, but can you move back a little bit? We can see up your nose.
Yeah, he backs up a little bit, and
Perfect.
and Mr. Pokemon says, "Is that Aspen? Can I talk to him?"
Sure.
Okay.
So they both start having a very enthusiastic conversation in front of you. I'm not gonna fucking play this out.
Using all of my data.
Yeah.
Tim's conversation.
So they're both having a very enthusiastic conversation with the Pokemon showing the egg inside of the container. But you do hear clearly from Aspen's side, no, absolutely not. I am not going to take that egg.
Oh.
Oh.
Rude.
And with Mr. Pokemon kind of begging, almost begging in a way. So finally Aspen goes, I'm assuming, since he's on all your phones, but only Max is the one that's pointing. He just says, how about this? How about you three take the egg and take it to the daycare couple over in Goldenrod instead? They would know something much better to do with that.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Sure. I just don't want to touch the egg because I feel like I'm gonna break it.
Then, once we get to, the foot of it, the egg explodes and the Dialga comes out.
Well, Almond, if you want to make another Pokemon education check.
I mean, I could try. I imagine I don't actually have much experience with eggs, but I have general education.
Yeah. Judging from the pattern judging from its pattern, okay, and its hue, because this isn't like the the one that you see for a Togepi, which is like the common one they show in all books that have a Pokemon egg.
Mm-hmm.
This egg has a blue hue to it, with a bright red spot at the very top. So you're guessing that it's either going to be a water Pokemon of some kind, or probably some other type that would be a blue Pokemon.
You say there's
What do you
only a
think it
red
is,
spot at the
Almond?
top, nothing else particular about this egg?
Nope, blue hue, red spot at the top.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Mr. Pokemon just says, don't worry, the case here is extremely sturdy. As long as you don't hit it directly, but a simple drop shouldn't bother it.
Oh, Almond, do you want to carry it or should I?
I attempt to lift the thing. How heavy is it?
Not that heavy, actually. Probably about 5-10 pounds at most. Weight is really abstract in this, so
Yeah, it's like, if you don't want to carry it, Harry, I think I can actually manage.
It's up to you.
You're so passive. I'll carry it for now. I'll be. This will help me with my training regimen.
How?
Sounds good to me.
Max just says, "Ow."
Added weight.
This weight's nothing.
What? Isn't it like 15 pounds or something?
Yes, that's what I said.
15 pounds equals nothing.
Yeah, basically. You're weak thoughts, boy. Alright. So yeah, Aspen says, well, I have to go back to checking on that data that you guys sent in. So have fun on your journey. And then he hangs up, and then Mr. Pokemon says, that man is always in a hurry. So-
Alright, well, he told us that he needs data, but any idea what we should do next?
Well, if you're gonna go to Goldenrod, you're gonna have to go through Violet City from here. Luckily, it's not too far. Just as soon as you leave the garden, just head directly right. I do have a small shortcut that'll get you on to Route 31, which is just a stone stroll away from Violet City. Do you have a map, by the way?
Yes.
If we do, I give him this very simplified fucking map.
You'd think Aspen would give you something a little bit more updated. I'm sure I have it somewhere. And then he goes over to like in another room for like a couple of minutes, comes back out, and he's like, "Here we are." And he just can I see your Pokedexes real quick?
I'm like, sure.
Sure.
Alright. So takes your Pokedexes. And he plugs in on like one of the ports on the side a card reader. And then he slides a card that he has into the reader. And you hear a little beep happen. And on each of your Pokedexes, which seems like he's just upgraded it for you.
Cool.
Oh,
And as-
thank you.
And has put a program on there that gives you a much more detailed town map. So yeah. There you are.
Excellent.
That should make your journey a lot easier. And this map is pretty sophisticated. Automatically updates with any new information that goes on. Well, as long as the developers continue to add new information. But it is a project that I backed a long time ago. So, I'm not sure how up-to-date it may be. And then he kind of points to like where Violet City is on the map too. He's like, here's where you want to go first. I recommend taking on the gym leader here. Might be good for your journey. Probably one of the first things that I would do once I get there. But from Violet City, if you go past any points over to like the ruins about, past here, there's a road that'll take you to the national park, and then head south from there. That'll get you to Goldenrod, where the daycare couple should be.
Okay.
Oh. And you know what? I like you three. And he gives you his business card. If at any moment you see anything extraordinary or rare, or you find another one of those cards, feel free to give me a call.
Sure. We'll keep an eye out. I look at the other two like, is there anything else you guys need from here?
I don't
No.
think so.
Cool. Well, thank you for your time. I think we should get going because it's getting really dark.
All right. Yeah, he's like, you know what? Where are my manners? If you guys would like to set out in the morning, you can. You can use the guest room upstairs. I'll have Ricardo prepare you a supper as well.
Does someone say free food?
Very important question.
So are you guys going to take the offer, or are you going to try to head to Violet City now?
How long would it take us to get to Violet City?
You would get there... you would get about halfway there before you would have to set down for the night, and then most likely get there mid-morning after.
As much as I like sleeping in a bed, I think that getting there faster would be better for us, but that's just me.
I personally don't mind spending the night.
Yeah, that's fine with Harry if you want to head out.
Okay.
Sorry about that, everybody. That happens. Oh, y'all know. Y'all know that happens. I deal with it daily. So, okay. So you guys are heading out to Violet City then.
Yes, we'll camp in the woods.
True fun
and
in
then
America. Okay. So you guys all deny it. Mr. Pokemon doesn't seem upset about it. He's actually he understands. Like, you don't, people usually don't like to sleep in a stranger's house, especially somebody that eccentric. So
That's fair point. We haven't even considered, like, this is a stranger. Are we gonna sleep in his house?
Hey, this is Pokemon Land. We trust every stranger.
What?
But he bids you a farewell, and you guys got to go, like, containers for your drinks that you finish up as you continue your travels. You take the shortcut that he said, which gets you onto Route 31, and you begin to settle down for the night. You get the campfire going, which it's no longer raining, by the way. The rain's over. Just remember that. Max, in your inventory, because I guess someone forgot, there's no item called a tinderbox in this game. It's just a lighter. So you do have a lighter to set up the campfire, which you get going. You're warming up some of the rations, trying to, like, soften up some of the items there.
Yes, but not me, the person who actually knows how to cook.
Yes.
Alright, Almond is cooking for you. So.
You didn't ask. What the hell?
I mean, you didn't.
Ugh. Right. Does anybody know anything about the gym here? Like the one that we're heading off to? Are we even interested? I would be down to beat somebody up.
As far as I remember, he's apparently a flying type gym leader.
Well, that sucks.
Not about beating people up, but I guess we should do the gym challenge.
Like,
I
not
mean,
beating
we're heading
people
there
up.
anyway.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Sounds like
You know.
a plan.
Casually just strolling in, defeating the gym, going out, you know, as you do.
Isn't there a whole process for doing it though?
Mm.
It depends on how drawn out it is.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So, yeah, not very peaceful night. You all get some rest inside of your sleeping bags next to a fire that does last through the night. Max did a very good job on that. Kept you nice and warm. And in the morning,
candy bars.
The water trainer's keeping up the fire.
Yeah. Well, you're the more athletic type, so. But
The
yeah.
funny thing about this feat is apparently basic cooking just gives me the ability to make baby food and candy bars.
Oh my god, we're gonna eat junk food all the way to. Oh.
I would also roll that something like that is you could technically cook regular food. So
Yeah.
but that's because those are specific items.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, next morning you all get up nice and early. There's fresh dew on the grass and on the trees and on you.
I'm doing push-ups.
That's just what Almond thinks is normal food. Yeah, that's fair. But you guys continue your journey without a hitch because your rolls are really good and it's not going to put you in a predicament where you're going to have to heal up for some reason. But then you pass through the tunnel that leads right into Violet City.
Sweet.
And I will give you guys a description of the town next time. But we're going to stop the session here.
Oh yeah, it's like 2:30
Yep.
over here.